We are now entering the great hall of the Liver King. Animals fall before him. They cower in fear. That's the Liver King, baby. He's here with Hassan, of course. This is kind of a dream come true for us. We've been
Absolutely.
We bonded over our admiration for you a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 100%.
To have the Liver King. I can smell you, by the way. I know you don't wear deodorant, right?
Melted tar, right?
Not that bad. Melted tar? Is that good?
I smell like a man.
Oh,
right. That's what
tar?
I say. I'm like, hey, that's what a bee smells like. It smells like melted tar, mahogany. I'm like, because people want to say it smells horrible. I'm like, I'm gonna give you some better adjectives. What are the most masculine adjectives I can come up with? I'm like, that's about. So if you got better adjectives, you give it to me. But appreciate you.
Listen, it doesn't smell bad. It just smells like BO. But that's fine. That's how you do it. Those are the pheromones, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But I appreciate you guys having me on. You probably hear this all the time. You say, hey, thanks for coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And the guest says, hey, thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so this is what I like to do in the beginning of podcasts. I want to really put to words what I mean by when I say thank you. And I'm so grateful because I desperately need badass primals and subprimals alike.
Yeah.
Right. To have these kind of platforms. Right, because
Why'd
without
you look
you
at
guys,
him when he said
subprimal? And that's okay. I take that. Am I the subprimal? And that's fine because I'm fat.
Why do you think you're subprimal? I didn't say that. I'm saying this categorically.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit, bro.
Because you looked at him and you said primal and subprimals alike.
Bro, let me
but that's
tell you,
fine. I'm not in my primal shape. I
got one of the smartest, most genius guys that works within the tip of the spear. This is the smartest guy you'll ever meet. He is definitely not primal. And then people say things, and then he takes things completely out of context. I think you might be too smart for your own good sometimes. Because I'll just tell you right now, all I'm saying is I'll go on any show, anywhere. If you hate me, if you love me, if you're primal, if you're subprimal, if you have an audience, then you have somebody I can speak to, right? Because hurt and hate and suffer and struggle today, this is indiscriminate, right? There's so many men today that are aimlessly wondering about life. There's no purpose, no passion, there's no fight, there's no unite, there's weak, and there's submissive men out. Listen, there's a whole world of people today that are suffering with depression, anxiety, infertility. You've probably heard me talk about this, right? There's low energy, low libido, and low ambition in life. There's a better life to live, and I know that you guys know this because the way that you guys laugh, the roar of your laughter, right? You can't laugh like that and be expansive and contract and have a life of scarcity at the same time. So y'all know this life, and so that's what I'm championing today, is because of this kind of hurt, hate, suffer, and struggle. This is my job. Right, to advance these 9 ancestral tenets so that our people no longer have to suffer, so we can express our highest and most dominant. Without a show like this, I don't have a chance to reach audiences. So that's when you say, hey man, thanks for coming on, I'm like, hey, thank you for having me.
That's it. That's the real. Yeah,
and look, it only took a year.
Listen, and I'll say this. Oh, I know, we've been trying to get you.
Yeah. All you had to do was send me a jet, put me up in a penthouse.
Yeah, I know.
That's all you had to do.
Since you mentioned that, let me just show the people what we're referring to. Liver King has been hyping this visit up on Instagram stories. First, it was that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get canceled for this.
Why
I saw that Instagram story. I was like, oh no, people are gonna yell at me.
Why? Because we got chartered a jet.
Yeah.
I guess people don't like the private jet because it's not eco.
Well, it's not eco-friendly. Yeah. Taylor Swift got canceled for it. She was.
But Liver King doesn't give a fuck about that.
No, what I give a fuck about is the greater good. Right? If what it takes is a private jet and a penthouse suite to get me over here, to spread the message to millions of people.
Oh, I'm definitely getting canceled. Okay.
Well, then so be it.
You can't cancel Liver, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Liver's forever. Here, let's watch this.
The Primals over at the H3 podcast. It was H3, right?
Yeah.
They sent me a private jet to go on their podcast.
Such a huge fan, huh, Liver?
Well, this is the deal. Hey, I go where they tell me, and they're like, "Hey, H3 has a giant jet waiting for you."
Right.
They already have this suite.
So that's not very. So it's primal to be driving. Like it's still primal. Because I don't know. I want to
driving primal.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it 100% is, and I'm going to go ahead and put this to bed once and for all. Because people say this shit forever, right? Hey, driving in a car is not, is this primal? Flying in a jet, having a beach house is, having a ranch is, and so this is what I say, like the evolutionary hunter that left the comfort of the cave, they did this for a better life, right? They left the comfort of the cave to go explore adventure and excitement and to pull our entire ecosystem forward. You had those other guys remaining in the shadow. I call those guys the subprimals, making reaction videos, sitting on the couch, right?
Yeah, fuck that.
I fucking hate those guys, man. Straight up.
But because this is what happened.
I would never do that.
The evolutionary hunter left, and he started to collect the skeletal remains because before we were apex predators, we were scavengers, right? The apex predators would do their thing. They would leave the skeletal remains. We would collect the cranium. We would collect the femur bones. We would bring that back. We figured out how to use percussion technology to crack that open.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, I don't know. I bet.
Is that
why do
Primal?
people keep talking about this?
He has a big Netflix documentary right
Somebody
now.
was talking about Jeffrey Dahmer yesterday. I'm like, why is everyone talking about that? Is that why?
Because Evan Peters killed it. I mean, literally and figuratively. Jeffrey Dahmer, a new show on Netflix, kind of controversial. People are upset about it.
Why? Because, people were upset because it's like
Dude, it's
re-traumatizing.
No, because it's too good.
They're just
I
like,
think that's literally the reason.
I just want to go eat a heart. Well, Jeffrey Dahmer, like you, eats hearts.
Well, let me say
Human
this.
hearts.
Right. Well, hearts.
Jeffrey Dahmer, primal or not primal?
Well, I'm going to say it. I'm going to make this official, right? Here's the thing. Before I make it official, I really want to prove this point. Liver King doesn't plug into trending stuff. So somebody brought this up yesterday on a podcast. I'm like, why are people talking about?
Well, I mean, he's not exactly trending. He did this in 1991. Like that's the last time he murdered.
But apparently it's trending because there's a new documentary. It's getting recognition, right?
Yes.
But percussion technology came first. And then the guy that's sitting in the comfort of the cave says, hey, that's not very primal. You're using technology, right? And then we figure out how to sculpt that rock into a bifacial blade. And the subprimal says, hey, this is not very primal. And then we figure out fire at will. We figure out language, these innate technologies. And if you just look at technology over time, technology has a story across time and space, right? And then we built houses and planes and cars. And technology is a utility until it no longer is. So what I would say is driving in that F-450 dually tank, evolutionarily consistent.
That's a 450?
It's an F-450 dually tank. You come on a head-on collision with this guy. And
You will kill a whole fucking family of people if you need to.
Hey, whatever it takes to get the message out. Hey, this is for the greater good.
Yeah, let me ask you this then, by that logic, because that is interesting. You talk about technology as we evolve. That is what's primal, right? We're coming out of the cave.
This is a utility.
A utility. So what is GMOs primal?
So I say that it's technology and it's primal, it's ancestral until it no longer is and until it's to our detriment. So I'm going to give you an example with social media, right? Because people are like, hey, you're on social media. Oh, you're real primal. I'm like, okay, you got me. You got me. First and foremost, my phone is on airplane mode. I don't know if you call it a phone at that point, but I use it as a camera, right? And I use social media as this incredible weapon to get this message out, right? I follow 9 people total, half are my family, Liver Boys and Liver Queen, right? So I would say I use social media to create and to curate value. Once you use it to mindlessly consume content, and now that's a placeholder for real value that you can create, which stacks and compounds inside yourself that you can express to the outside world. Once you use it to your detriment, I would say it no longer is primal.
So
what about when you're on the toilet, though? You don't want to like look at TikToks when you're pooping?
Well, no. I mean, why would you want to do that?
Pooping?
You know what? I use my best weapon, right?
Think about shit?
Yeah.
Whoa, what'd you think about this morning when you
while
said
you're pooping?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know what I thought. I thought about you guys.
Yeah.
You know, this
Oh,
morning.
what an honor.
Right, thinking about you guys.
But going back to the GMO question, I think that was a good one.
So is GMO primal or subprimal?
At this point, this is what I'm thinking. When you start to get into like gene editing, that kind of stuff, genetic modifications, right now, I would say that's completely subprimal.
Right, because you could say the same thing. I mean, if you're just editing a stick, you're taking a stick, you're turning it into a spear. You could say the same thing about
He's
tomatoes.
So soy. He's so soy. He needs you to tell him that frozen pizzas are primal.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm just
if people just splice the genes of fucking tomatoes, that they could live better in the cold and therefore feed more people, or rice.
And is that good? I mean, this is
Why not?
one of the most dangerous things. I'll tell you why not. Because people think living better. Like, here's the thing, and I get this criticism all the time. Yeah, but our early ancestors lived till 30. And I'm like, you call what we're doing today living? Right? Because we figured out how to prolong life.
To be fair, I do think that this is better. I'm just gonna say it. Like,
it was pretty fucked up.
Because like I don't want to die from like dysentery or whatever. Like I think it's pretty chill. I get to look at TikToks.
Or
like
people were straight up dying of the flu, like a fucking.
There's
I'm gonna hit it
on
with you guys.
Instagram.
These are the facts. 85% of people today live with self-esteem issues. 80%, 80% struggle, paycheck to paycheck, and you got to figure out why. Like, we're trying to express our worth and potential in the world with shit that we buy at the mall.
It's capitalism. Say it.
Whatever you want to call it.
So subprime.
80% of people are struggling paycheck to pay. 70% are overweight, half are obese, 50% are on prescription meds, 40% have or will get cancer, 20% experience infertility. Now, you can't look around this room and tell me either you yourself, someone in your family, or people around this room are suffering with these things.
Yeah.
You think that's a better life? We're hurting at record rates.
No, I advocate for a better system across the board. So I'm fully on board with what you're saying. And I do think that fitness plays a good role in that as well. I think goal setting and like achieving said goals is also a really good way for me, at least, and to live my life. That's how I've been able to accomplish things that I have accomplished. But ultimately, I do like the fun stuff. Like, you know, I like eating a pastry every now and then, you know?
Weak.
You know what? I don't even have to say anything. You guys already know. You guys already know. Let me tell you this. If you go visit with these modern day primitive culture tribes in the Amazon, in Africa, we're headed to Mongolia in a couple of weeks. Here's the thing. You're going to find that these primitive culture tribes have absolutely no material possessions, have no access to pastries, have no access to video games.
No.
The kind of life that they live, I guarantee you every single person here would be envious of. They're more
I know, but they've
more
never
content.
had an ace in Valorant. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay,
It's a video
Valorant's
game.
a video
Okay,
game.
I don't know.
And when you get
I'm
an ace
helping.
in it, like you feel so accomplished.
For how long?
For a while, actually.
Well,
Especially
well,
if you
I'll
clip
tell
it,
you.
It doesn't fulfill me, Liver King.
Because, hey, props to you, but this is
Why
what
are
I
we both
believe.
sucking up to him
I'm
right
telling him the truth. I think you're just not taking this seriously,
speaks
Hassan.
to-
Yeah,
because
thank you, Liver.
I made a video the other day. We were high lifting. We were mudding out at the ranch. We were shooting guns. And then somebody said, and I made this comment, you don't need video games when you can lead real life like this with your family. With
Child
this kind of
warriors
bonding.
and shit.
And so somebody responded, hey, must be real nice if you have millions of dollars. And I'm thinking,
Right.
really? That's interesting. Maybe you go get millions of dollars if you stop doing video games and do real life. And did you ever beat a video game and say, oh my God, I did it. I got an ace in Valor. Hear me out. and then you said, this changed my life. This is part of my legacy. And this is a lasting dopaminergic thing that uplifts.
That's so true, Liver.
Yes, he's wrong. I
Stop.
will tell you. There's a video
No, you're
game.
right,
It's called. It's made by this man named Miyazaki. From Software is the company. They make these games called Dark Souls,
Yeah.
Elden Ring. Oh,
That's a
all
good
of a
point.
sudden,
No, that is a
all
good
of a
point.
sudden, how the
It's a good game.
turntables.
It is
Well,
a
how
good
so?
game.
So this game actually, unironically, taught me a lot about like controlling my anger and frustration. It's a single player game. It's not even like competitive. You're just like literally trying to defeat these bosses, and they're so difficult. Okay, they're so incredibly difficult to defeat. And you need to get the timing correct. It's like you need to get the rhythm correct. You need to study their move sets. Every time you do something, there's like an adequate reaction coming from that boss. So you need to like manipulate your own movements to make sure that your enemy is doing the wrong things. All of that stuff is so tilting and so frustrating when you play on your own and you're just getting angrier and angrier and angrier. But then at a certain moment you realize like, well, if I keep bouldering through at this problem, I'm not going to be able to accomplish it. So actually, Elden Ring and From Software games have genuinely changed my perspective on how to control my frustration.
It seems like it was a hunt of some sort.
Yeah.
It was a
Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
No, I'm 31.
You're 31. So, like, I would say, what are your roles and goals in life, right? For me, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm a husband, I'm a boss, I'm a brother, right? I have certain roles and goals, and I'm thinking, what role and goal would that make me better at? And if one of your roles is, I'm an entrepreneur and video games is my thing, you know, then good on you, right? Because that will make you better, more fulfilled, more valuable to your outside world, right? For me, this is not one of my roles and goals.
Well,
right?
I think
I mean,
what
I
I'm
think,
saying
look,
is like,
we
it
can all
does help you with
agree
problem
here.
solving.
I play video games. I mean, playing video games is subprimal. Let's just be real about it, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, Liver's spoken on the issue, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like a no-brainer.
I think playing video games is fine as long as you do it in moderation. Everything in
Subprimal, bro.
moderation.
Let me actually, I'm going to put this to rest too. My own liver boys play video games.
Okay,
do they play?
Okay.
There's like a asphalt. There's a racing game.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a puzzle solving game. There's some first person.
No Fortnite? Fortnite?
That one.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
playing Fortnite.
So here's the thing. So people ask me all the time, if you believe this is subprimal, do you let your kids do subprimal things? And this is what I say. If you earn it, you can go do it.
Okay.
Right. If you don't earn it, you're not getting access
I like
to
that.
doing that.
Okay.
Right? So they get up in the morning and they immediately stack the sun and the earth. They make their own breakfast. They get a workout in their first workout of the day. They do 2 workouts every day. They do jujitsu. They do striking. They do ninja practice. And the kind of stuff that they do, their days are full. And you know what? Now you get 40 minutes to go do whatever the fuck you want. And if you want to spend that playing video games, and trust me, like we do wins around the table. I'm like, hey man, let's talk about wins. And then half the time the wins are related to a video game. And I'm like, okay, and I tell them what I just said to you. Do you think in your life you're going to say, oh, I just crushed it because I'm the best in this video game? Right now, this is important.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think maybe your kids are having genuine experiences that you just don't have access to because you're kind of boomer? And I don't mean that offense. I'm a boomer too. But I mean, just because it's not an experience that you've shared, and potentially maybe it's you that's wrong, or at least not being empathetic enough to their human experience.
So I'm open to that, but here's where I would push back. I grew up in the 80s, so I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s, and I played John Madden football.
How old are you, Liver King? What the fuck?
I'm 45.
Oh my God,
damn,
dude! What?
No, he looks younger than both of us.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Look
Holy
at this skin.
shit.
Look at this skin, man.
Yeah.
You wear? Oh shit! I have so many questions.
Well, let's get into all of it. But here's the thing.
Dude, look, his sweat is glistening down.
Bro,
his
you look
pecs and
amazing.
abs.
Are you hot right now?
You know what? That's the thing. My thermoregulatory mechanisms. I don't wear all the deodorant, the shit that blocks it. So I'm like, right now I'm perfect. This is my homeostasis. This is my air conditioning coming on. We would play John Madden, but you know the graphics were so horrific after 30 minutes, and you just watch your friend. You could see him what he was playing, right? And so after 30 minutes, you go out in the street, you play football, right? When you put down the phone, when you put down the video game, when you come in here, you create this kind of electricity. You can never ever tell me that video games are going to trump this kind of real life chemistry.
Sometimes
now,
it does,
again,
Liver.
Well, let me push back more. I got addicted to Halo.
Oh, okay.
I got addicted to
One
Halo.
of us.
That's crazy. Okay.
And so I had stopped playing video games. I had to do this thesis in college, and so I had to stop. And then one of my buddies said, "Hey, now there's a online thing that you can do." Oh, you're a loser. You're a loser. And I played it, and I couldn't believe it.
So fun.
good.
It was so fun.
You play Halo multiplayer?
I started playing.
Let's go.
And then I started not going into work.
Yeah.
And I started playing this game.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing how great it was. And again, the dopaminergic hit and the high was so great and so addictive. But I realized that short-term value was replacing the long-term value that I build in myself, that I create and shape in the world. People want to know, how do you go from 0 to 6 million followers overnight? How do you create businesses, 3 businesses that make over $100 million? Listen, you don't wake up one day and express value to the outside world. Again, this is something that you build every day. You don't wake up and have a six-pack, right? You don't wake up and have developed ideas and philosophies. These are things that stack and compound over time, and then it scales, and then one day you have a family, and then your kids are respectful, they respect themselves, they're strong, they're courageous. And so I would push back and I'd say, I've had some of those opportunities, and I'm gonna tell you when I hung it up. My wife had Stryker, our firstborn, and she says something, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm bored out of my mind in here, in the hospital. And I said, I gotta go home, I gotta go get something. All I wanted to do was play Halo.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty bad, Liver.
Well, how much you want to bet? This is what a lot of people think about. They don't even do real life because that other experience is so grand.
Can I give you a rebut to that?
Well, I'm almost done. So just,
Okay,
this will
go
take
ahead,
10
Liver.
seconds to be done.
Yeah.
I played my last game of Halo. I went home, got on immediately, and I said, I'm done forever because I was
felt
thinking about
so
this.
bad.
I felt bad. I knew it wasn't right. I threw everything away, and I never played a video game again.
Do you think you have an addictive personality?
That's what I was getting at, is potentially.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, and I had similar experiences with video games as well. For me, it was role playing. There's a server, and it tied into my business as well, obviously. So it's like doubly fucked up. But yeah, I've always struggled with addiction my entire life. So what I've tried to do always is, and the way I describe it is, I try to hyper focus on addictions that are overall positive, like fitness, working out, monitoring my calories, making sure that I have a healthy diet, or my work, which I love, you know what I mean? Like Twitch streaming, and constantly improving myself. Those are the things that I've hyper focused on instead, because I know I'm just going to be addicted to something no matter what it is. And I'd rather have it be that instead of alcohol, cigarettes, and even in certain instances, video games. Yeah. So that's how I've been able to get to the place I've got to, which is pretty fucking primal, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is primal.
Primal
my question is it possible that, first of all, you went and played Halo when your wife was giving birth? Or like when she
Right
was in that,
afterwards.
yeah. So she was in the room with the newborn,
Yeah.
and you're like, fucking Halo time, baby.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So is it possible that your own addictive personality is perhaps you're seeing the world through your own lens, obviously,
100%.
because what
We all
are
do.
the lens do we see it through?
Right.
And it's possible that a lot of other people in the world can have a healthy relationship with video games. Whereas obviously you just go all out
Yeah,
on everything.
I believe everything in moderation is all fucking full of shit, right?
We
that's what
don't
I
believe in moderation.
Okay, good. I don't.
Okay, interesting.
This is what I believe. You want an uncommon
heard
life,
that.
you got to do uncommon things, right? You want more in life, which virtually everybody does. Guess what? You got to do more in life. And if you apply moderation to everything, and if you're a jack of all trades, you're a king of none, right? You're a master of none. And so this is what I believe. This is what I do. I go all in, and then I outsource everything else. I'm laser focused. And so this is what has allowed me to create resistance and to create progress and my relative roles in my life. Right?
Let me
To
ask you
achieve my
this.
goals.
Siddhartha, the Buddha, primal or subprimal?
You got to tell me more. I don't know.
Because he was all about the center path, moderation, walk it down the line, everything in moderation.
I'll say it. Fuck it. I'll say it. He's a coward.
He is a fucking coward,
fucking
bro.
coward and a centrist,
And by the way, he
Ethan.
wouldn't even eat. He would sit there and fast and eat like as little rice as possible.
Wow, bullshit.
Beta
Yeah.
behavior.
Well, by the way, fasting is a primal practice, but
Yeah.
He was starving
we'll start. Well, listen.
on purpose.
It's okay to start. So we starve for 5 days a quarter.
That's crazy.
We don't eat any calories for 5 days every quarter. So there are some practices there that I would say are absolutely perfectly primal.
primal.
I don't know anything else about Buddha or that religion.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
as we
Buddhism.
get to talk, and I think guys are gonna say, I know a lot about primal living. I know a lot about ancestral living. Again, my fight in the world is we're gonna talk a whole lot about why people are hurting, how people are hurting, and how there's an elegant solution to returning people back to the default strength, health, and happiness. And you're gonna say at the end of this, Liver King don't know shit about Buddha or religion or politics or policy. I'm good with that, right? I'm not plugged in to that world. I'm plugged into my primal bubble, and these.
That's fine. No, I'm not judging. There's no judgment here. I want to go back to something interesting though, because the GMO topic. I'm sorry to go back because this is something I care about.
Are you for GMOs?
I feel like they get a bad rep. What is it that's subprimal about the GMO? I just didn't understand your...
Bottom line is, I just think Mother Nature had it right.
Mother Nature had it right.
tell you-
but then
I mean-
where do you draw the line where Mother Nature had it right? Because like surgery, cancer treatment.
I'll tell you where I draw the line there is acute medicine, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But if Mother Nature had it right, and if we live close to Mother Nature, and if we embrace these 9 ancestral tenets, all first principle thinking based on Mother Nature had it right, it's all preventative.
'Cause the thing is,
we're not even talking about surgery and cancer and depression and anxiety. You look at these modern day primitive culture tribes, it's non-existent. These things are non-existent.
You think you'll eliminate the root cause if you eliminate microplastics out of your life, for example, is what you're saying, right?
Enough of that stuff? Yeah,
sure,
right there,
Count.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair, even
It's
though
true,
even
but
though
it's
those
not the
people did get
GMOs.
no.
And I love how you were talking about editing a stick. I'm like, this guy's so cerebral. You can actually justify anything. You're one of the most dangerous men, probably to yourself and to others. Because,
agree. I
Because
agree.
of what you can justify. Like
Well,
the
hold
minute
on,
people
though,
start
Liver.
doing that, I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna be
He's just
fun.
riding.
Well, hold on,
He's
Liver.
just
I'm just
subprimal.
I'm testing your logical facilities here because GMO rice, has saved literally billions of lives because they have the ability to fortify it with vitamins that people who are malnourished aren't getting. They have the ability to make rice flourish in like different climates that where you would usually die.
So are you for GMOs?
Very much, yeah.
Okay.
I think GMOs are primal.
I go
as fuck.
back and forth on GMOs because like I feel like I grew up in Turkey and you didn't have certain vegetables and certain fruits in certain seasons. You know what I mean? Like that was just not the case when I was growing up. And I never saw like, for example, I never saw a cucumber that was like this big until I came to America, and that shit is so nasty. Luckily, they now sell like Persian cucumbers.
Love the Persians.
Yeah, but like that's what I grew up with.
Are you sure
Every-
they're not just different types of cucumbers? I don't think
Well,
that's a
I mean,
GMO
that's still.
thing.
I think it's still like modified. Every part of the process to make like strawberries as big and as juicy.
So what's wrong with that?
And apples as big and as juicy. The only thing I have about it is not that like, oh man, it's giving you cancer or like making you gay or whatever. I don't believe in any of that. I
Well,
just
that
think
part's
that
true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course, but I do think that like the taste of it is more bland in a weird way.
Well, that's a fair criticism, the
Yeah.
taste. But I push back when people say like, oh, it's
Yeah, no, that's my
unhealthy, or
only.
there's something. You
That's
know.
my only issue with it. Like, I don't have a problem with GMOs. I just don't like. I don't like when they try to like drive the most profit out of like the same thing by just basically
And how does it
constantly
save billions of
modifying it.
lives?
Oh, so like, for example, in lots of parts of Asia, they're like malnourished and super deficient in certain vitamin types, and their main primary source of food is rice. And as you know, in China and India, there's so many people, billions and billions of people, that during times of drought or like monsoons, food becomes scarce and unavailable. And what they've managed to do is make rice that's super resilient to all these different weather sources, that is extra packed with vitamins that helps them avoid malnourishment. And so this rice, this specific rice that I'm talking about, has saved billions of lives, it's estimated. So I think the GMOs can actually, when you're talking about like being able to feed more people and making it more resilient, and because people say there's not enough food in the world to feed everyone.
That's not even true.
Right, but I think, yeah, because we can't transport like fucking meat from America and feed people in Africa. But because of GMOs, it makes it possible that people can eat cheaper and have more reliable food sources,
You know, I have
for
this
massive
conversation
populations. Yeah.
every once in a while, like people start talking about something going on halfway across the world, right? And they don't even have their own lives in order. And how much you want to bet? I just, the statistics I told you are universal, right? The 85% self-esteem, 80% struggle paycheck, all that stuff, right? Our people are really hurting. And these are the same people, you know, that don't have a penny in their bank account, and they're having conversations about crypto investing. Right? They're talking about things before they've taken personal responsibility and accountability. So what I generally say to people is like, guys, we should probably have this really candid conversation over dinner. But what I know is going to serve the audience the best is if you can take personal responsibility, if you can get your own life in order by doing these 9 ancestral tenets, if you can get your own household in order, go help your neighbor. Once you can help your neighbor, go help your community. Once you can do that, we can go sit down at dinner, and then we can talk about policy or politics. But how, if you don't have your own life in order, which most people don't, how are they talking about helping other people to have their lives in order? And this is just like being a dad. You have kids. How many kids you have?
Two boys.
I thought so.
Just like you,
both
right?
Boys, cool, yeah. And here's the thing, is I don't know if you believe this, but this is what I believe, is that we have a single job to do as a parent, as a dad. It's to affirm our kids with a depth of challenge, worth, and potential that they come to believe in themselves. How can you do that as a parent if you don't believe in yourself? You got to take that personal accountability and responsibility, believe in yourself, and then affirm your kids that same way. So as we get to talking, again, I think it's as simple as I believe Mother Nature had it right. It's incredibly nuanced, obviously, right? Doing it here back home when we're way overfed, is this helping people out, or is it possibly to our detriment? Again, this is really nuanced stuff. What I would say is, do you guys know how many people a day kill themselves? Take a guess.
Probably like a couple thousand, probably in the United States.
So, but worldwide, it's between 2,500 and 4,000. 1 to 1.5 million people kill themselves a year.
Yeah, that's sad.
And they have no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. And you know what's even more fucked up is the disproportionate number of men doing it. 3.5 times more men do it. But you know what the most fucked up thing is? There's a 20x multiplier on attempts. Again, a 20x multiplier on attempts, where they see no value, no worth, no hope, no potential in their lives. They take so this is what I try to focus on.
But the 20x multiplier on attempts is disproportionately towards women, I think, because men, if I'm not mistaken, are more successful, or they use more violent means to complete it.
Oh, well, that's an interesting gender study right there.
No, that's like
women,
for example,
primal or subprimal.
Women?
Yeah.
This is no different than men.
Okay.
Right? This is no different
because they were failing out on the.
Well, they use different
attempt.
means like.
I can't believe you just asked that. You should be in trouble for asking that question.
Women use different means. Women use
I'm
different
just
means.
posing the questions here.
Like the availability of guns is a big contributing factor to increasing suicide rates, and also part of it is because it literally factors into like men having higher rates of suicide as well, because like they often use a gun rather than,
and they know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
But this is my deal. Is like we're talking about GMOs halfway across, very nuanced stuff.
Let's talk about what's under our nose. Okay.
Thank you. Again,
Let's go. Let's focus in on the good shit.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Well, here,
Hey, speaking of good shit, listen, you gave me the gifts, right, of the airplane,
Yes,
of the penthouse.
yes.
I can't believe you sent me 2 luxury vehicles. I
Of
showed
course,
up.
the
One for the
finest.
luggage, one for me and the queen.
It's over the top, I know, but
So,
you deserve it.
Can I bring my best gifts to share with you
Absolutely.
guys?
Oh,
Please.
God. Oh, no.
Let's do it. Liver King Chef Lionel, where are you at?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're fat. What the hell? How did you guys telepathically?
Oh, Jesus
communicate?
Christ.
Yeah,
Can,
so
can he sit down and explain?
absolutely. And so these meats have been sitting out for a minute now. Are this going to give me parasites, tapeworms?
It's Primal if you get it.
Liver King Chef Jeffrey Dahmer here. I mean Lionel.
By
the way.
Are tapeworms primal or subprimal?
Totally Primal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, all parasites.
Yeah, you
like,
lose some weight if you get some tapeworm. It's nature's-
effortlessly. Like we should all have a couple tapeworms.
If I would only be so lucky. Yeah. Okay, Chef Lionel.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I got some treats for y'all, by the way. We of course have our charcuterie board, not a normal charcuterie board, but we do have some bone marrow. This right here is gonna be very fatty. It's probably
Love bone marrow.
love bone marrow. Yeah. We always eat it at the temperature of the cow.
Primal.
I'm a big fan of bone marrow.
Okay.
Oh, like I see it.
Well,
Yeah.
let's find out.
You want me to hit it raw right now?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, so just give me the intel on this meat. You guys are feeding us raw meat. So how do you guys make sure that it's like good?
Yeah, definitely.
That
So
is-
It's just like a stick of butter.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
That's
I've
right.
never had raw bone marrow, so
we treat this exactly like sushi. If we're not the ones butchering it ourselves, so if we butcher it, we'll eat it fresh right there. We'll save the blood, and because
was
whenever you
delicious.
have some of these
Very
pathogens
interesting.
that get in there, is because of just contamination, and that's
Right.
what we
It's
try
a
to keep.
transfer of passage. Just think
up with
about it.
your
If you
face?
butchered the animal
I just
yourself,
never. And no, actually it's not bad. It's like butter.
It's
it has
like butter.
no flavor really. It's just
Yeah.
the
If you
texture.
never had like
Interesting.
like at a fancy restaurant, have you never had like a bone marrow?
No, I
thing
have.
where
I
it's
have.
just,
It's not
you
raw like
scoop
that.
it. They
Yeah.
give you a
Yeah.
little.
We keep it like this just to keep all the nutritional value in there. We don't want to lose anything. We want to take advantage of the full cow, and it tastes best when it's the temperature of a cow.
Right.
It's
And
like
I want to also give just a quick response to the pathogenic load. Before we were apex predators, we were scavengers. Right? We talked about this. We would eat stuff that had been rotting for days and weeks. We're meant to take on a pathogenic load. The pH of our stomach is more acidic than a pure carnivore. The pH of our stomach is similar to that of a complete scavenger. So we're meant to take on this pathogenic
Haven't we
load.
devolved though? I mean, look, like
Yeah.
Well, we have, and this is my point. This is my point. You can put out a piece of meat for a couple of months, and you can have a bite a day, and you can start to build a pathogenic resilience. Hey, listen, if the zombie apocalypse comes, we're good to go, right? And there's no refrigerators, everything's spoiling. We can eat anything everywhere. So what I would say is today we're having little bits of this, right? And as pristine as he's kept it, you're still going to get a little bit of a pathogenic load.
Oh, great.
My advice
Here we
to
go.
everybody:
Oh,
you're
you
going to be
are
completely
I'm
fine.
here for the
fucked.
pathogen.
You are so fucked.
I'm not ready for that
You don't, wait, you
load.
don't eat any sushi?
Actually, not really.
I don't eat any sushi.
Do you
I
guys
generally don't eat raw
when
food.
you have a steak, how do you have it cooked?
Oh, I eat it medium rare to rare.
medium,
That's
medium
fine.
rare.
No
good
different.
answer.
There's no different.
Yeah, but it picks up the bacteria and stuff during the processing, probably, and like the processing plant and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
so whenever we don't know if someone else is butchering it for us, we're not going to eat it raw fresh. But what we normally do whenever someone else is butchering it for us, we'll treat it like sushi, and we'll freeze it for at least 7 days in our
That's smart.
freezer.
Smart.
And my main thing is to not get Liver King and his family sick. And
Have you guys ever got sick from Chef? I'm sorry, what was your name?
Lionel.
Lionel. You
All
guys-
the fucking time. All the time. So that means nobody reached out to hire him. He's mine only, and you don't want him. He makes us sick every day.
I'm over there a lot. They get sick of me, I'm sure. But yeah.
We've never gotten sick.
But do you ever put seasoning on this, or you just go primal mode and eat it raw?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King Chef Lionel.
Wait, I have a question. When's the last time you had like a McDonald's burger? Like, you know, what I
a
mean?
good
Like a Big
question.
Mac.
Is it a good question? Like I'm
curious.
I'll tell you. 20 years ago.
Ooh.
20 years? I mean, listen. I think the Whopper is dog shit, but like every now and then, you know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking have a burger every now and then.
Do you eat burgers?
Yeah,
Oh, you have
all the
burger
time.
patties.
All the time. But here's the thing. I can't get food anywhere else that's more delicious than the food that Liver King Chef Lionel prepares for us. And when you think about this, the relative difference of going somewhere else and knowing that the food, number one, will not taste as good, and number two, how destructive the seed oils are. Most people don't know this, but all that shit is cooked in seed oils, and seed oils lead to cell necrosis, which leads to inflammation, which leads to the chronic diseases we're talking about. This is one of the compounding factors why we're suffering today. Why would I ever want to
seeds.
go? Seed oils.
The seeds are the enemy of the people.
Well, seed oils are really rich in linoleic acid. It's an omega-6 acid. It's an extremely
What
inflammatory
do you think
acid.
about oat milk? Because that shit's bomb.
Is oat milk real? How you gonna milk an oat?
I don't know how they do it.
Checkmate,
I don't know how they
atheist.
do it. When I was growing up, I was a big dairy boy, and I still obviously love cheese, love ice cream, all that sort of
Yo,
stuff.
let's eat
right?
this shit before it starts rotting.
Yeah, this guy knows. Let's go.
What's that
So next
thing
is gonna
there?
be.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
this,
but yeah.
this is like a very almost intimidating type of organ, but my personal favorite is gonna be the testicles. These are bull's testicles right here.
Now, what's the benefit of eating the testes? Is that's going to make me more virile? Am I gonna be able to?
Show you after you put some in your
Hold
mouth.
on, I'm gonna
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
put my hair up for this.
How's that
this
taste?
one.
Good and fresh?
Okay, number one, to answer, I want to be a smartass, and I was going to tell you it tastes like strength, power, gains, and
Yeah.
growth.
That
actually
means
is
that means it
delicious.
tastes shit like
Exactly.
shit.
King, this is
Delicious.
pretty sus, man. We're about to put balls in our mouth. What's going on?
I want you to let me know what it reminds you of.
Yeah, it looks like chicken, which immediately I am worried about because when I see that,
Doesn't look. This looks like a kind of meat you want to cook.
it does look like
It
chicken.
is really good cooked, but raw
Taste
is
it. Come on,
preferable.
put it down there.
Oh
I'm
God,
waiting for a song.
You're gonna love it. How much you want to bet you like this the
Oh,
most?
It's dripping, dog.
Yeah.
So what-
Get all the testicle juice down there.
So what's the benefit of eating cow testes?
It doesn't smell great.
Like supports like. That's why it's called the testicle, right? That's
No
why.
smell.
That's why a liver's
It
called a
smells-
liver. There's
does smell.
specific peptides. There's enzymes. There's cell signal. There's all these things in here.
I'm putting it down.
Yeah. You just swallowed it. You didn't even chew it. You didn't even taste it.
Oh, that does not taste good.
Wait, he didn't even chew it, liver.
And you can do whatever. It's
I didn't
down.
know you could fucking deep throat like that. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Oh, you fucking chew that.
Come on.
I will. I'm not a fucking
Chew it.
subprimal
You
bitch.
chew it.
Let's
You're gonna
see.
throw up.
No way. He's got it.
Dude, that is. Oh.
You're fine. You're good to go. No way, you're
what's
joking.
up?
Don't do it.
Oh,
Wait, did he?
spat it out.
Hey, you see what that says on there?
Oh, he's got a subprimal ball.
We got a subprimal spit bucket if you can't do it.
Oh my God, liver.
But at least you
Yeah.
listen, you got testicle in your mouth. You done it.
That was not a great experience.
It tastes like
that I would like to
it tastes
replicate.
like fucking metal, and
It doesn't taste good.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't like that liver.
Oh, you're gonna wait for
I gotta
liver.
wash my hands.
No, you don't.
Liver is like so. We eat a lot of liver in Turkey. My favorite food is actually kokoreç, which is sheep intestine.
Which is
it's
what?
Sheep intestine.
okay.
I love sheep intestine. It's one of my favorite things to eat.
Hell yeah.
And
How
so
do they
I'm
prepare
I'm
it?
used to eating. So obviously like super well clean, and then they cook it on this like spinning thing like they do with doner, and then they'll like cut it finely with a lot of spices and onions and
sounds
peppers
delicious,
and
yeah.
like it's really spicy. It's
Yeah.
really fucking good. And then they just like put it in the middle of a bread that they sit underneath the fatty, like the fat dripping into it. I love it. It's delicious. Liver is another thing that we eat a lot in
Good.
Turkey,
That was the
but
worst thing
I've
I've ever
never
tasted.
liked liver because I
So
think
far.
it's too like the scent and the smell of liver. I don't really like it that much.
Well, then let's get down on some liver, you guys, before it's out for too long.
I'm
being straight up with you guys. That was one of the worst things I've ever tasted.
and this man eats frozen pizzas like all the time. Here you go.
Bro,
well,
that's not even
here's
true.
the thing: our palates change. Our palates change.
Right, that's true.
And the deal is, when I started eating this way, I really, this is going to sound very subprimal. I really didn't know how I was not going to eat some of that processed food again, like the cookies and the donuts. In fact, there was
You were
one,
missing it.
I did.
Yeah.
And are you getting down on it right now?
Yeah, I'm getting
All right,
down
let's
on
do
it.
it.
Let's
Cheers
do
to
it.
the liver.
Cheers.
Go ahead, I'll
Come
follow
on.
you. I'll follow suit. Hassan's chewing this time. He didn't deep throat it.
Yeah, it's
Really mild.
actually not that bad. Liver can be very.
What the fuck is that?
This right here is gonna be our travel blood.
Travel blood?
Yes.
That's right. I want to finish my point because I didn't know how I
The
was
fuck is
not
travel
going-
blood?
You
Hold
haven't
on a
had the
second.
liver. Have the liver.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
get on the liver and
Sorry,
shut up
sorry.
for a second.
Okay, all right. Sorry, liver.
Because I didn't know how I was going to cut out the processed food, and there would be times I would sneak it. Nobody would see me do it because I really couldn't control it. And then over a couple of years, I have zero inclination the palate starts to change. This stuff to me is absolutely delicious. Well, actually, the testicle's not delicious.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh.
It's not good.
The liver is
Okay,
definitely
thank
way
you
more
for at least
edible.
saying that. I thought I was crazy. So that tasted like shit to you too?
It doesn't taste good.
No.
It doesn't taste like shit, but it doesn't taste good.
That's how the testes always taste?
You know what? Sometimes he makes testicle ceviche, and you would love that.
That's got some flavor.
Oh,
some
you would
I
love
was
it.
to say, I've had liver cooked. I think weirdly enough, when you cook it, it draws more of the flavor out of it, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I had raw liver that a friend of mine prepared, identical to like a poke bowl.
Yeah.
And that was actually pretty good. It was like marinated with like some sort of, I think it was like some sort of like Korean spice. And that was actually really fucking good when I had it like that. I would rather eat it like this than cooked. I don't know why. The cooked
All
liver
right.
is not that good.
What's so special about liver as I eat this? Go ahead.
You're gonna
Well,
get
I'll
gout.
tell you, because this is why the name is Liver King. Because if I can get this message out, you're gonna use a subprimal spit bucket twice. Subprimal. I wish my kids were
Listen,
here to laugh at you.
Listen,
right now.
there's no.
This is
I'm
my
not here to
favorite
prove
episode we've
anything.
shot so far. This is so good.
I will come before you, self-proclaimed subprimal. I eat fucking GMO apples and everything.
I know that you're primal in other capacities, right? And so I know that you have it in you because
It's chewy. It's
It is.
tendony.
yeah. And what's your
What
favorite
the
food?
fuck is that?
Wait, you have too much stuff going on in that.
What the fuck is that, Liver
pulling out
King?
new
Let's get a
shit.
cheers on the blood, guys.
Get a cheers
Guys,
on the blood,
you guys,
guys.
this is too much.
Wait, hold on,
Cheers.
smell
Okay,
it?
well, what? Before I drink this, what the fuck is
It
this?
doesn't smell that bad.
It's travel blood.
What is travel blood?
It's blood that we travel
Here,
with.
cheer it.
It's a safe way we travel with blood that we're able to
How is it
bring
safe to
overseas.
travel with? Tell me about that process.
So we freeze dry it, and then we could bring it over,
Shoot
and
me
then
fucking blood.
I want to.
So-
I want to
okay.
eat. I want to cheers
out
it with
any
you and drink it
parasites.
with you.
So you it's like
Just have a little sip. Come on. Just stop talking. Just do it.
I have to analyze. It's a podcast.
Oh, that's really good.
Well, see, he
It's really good.
yeah,
Is
it's
it
just like-
seasoning?
have you ever had broth, like just raw?
No,
just
I've never
straight
had broth. Hassan.
No, I'm just saying it's like cold broth.
Okay, let me try it.
the
That's what it
seasoning
tastes like.
itself is like the blood. Blood has a flavor towards it. So whenever you put blood, or whenever you put like powdered kidney, powdered liver on some meat, that seasoning
It's all
itself,
that.
like it
You
has a
love it.
really.
I
good
don't want
flavor.
to. I don't know if I want to drink all of it.
Prove to me how much you love
I
it.
think a couple of sips, you're good to go.
It's like.
And why do we consume blood, Liver?
We've always done it, right? Since the beginning
have?
of time. Listen, I want to answer the question about the liver because you asked that question. And here's the thing.
Let me cheers you while you.
If you want to be an alpha organism kicking an ass in life, right? You don't need to know about all the peptides in here. You don't need to know about the vitamins and minerals. What you need to know
That I
is
got down.
if you want to be an alpha organism,
Barely.
do what other alpha organisms do, right? If you look at killer whales, they're the ultimate predators of the sea. They rip open great white sharks and they go for the liver first. Lions go for the liver first. The modern day primitive culture tribes, they go for the liver, and they're kicking our ass in life. And so you want to know about all the vitamins, I can tell you that there's really unique things in here that will otherwise be absent in your diet if you don't eat liver. Liver is the most nutrient dense food that there is. You got to find it. Listen, you don't got to do this, but you got to find a way to get it in your diet.
Why'd you just do that?
It's like use a cutting board.
Ethan, we've just taken this out of our diet. In Turkey, they still do it. In a lot of other countries, we're still eating organs. We've recently abandoned the ways of our ancestors in favor of muscle meat that falls off the bone.
I just like the cook.
What- is
stuff,
that a
that's
dick?
all. I could eat this
yes.
stuff. It was.
Is that a
cooked, you know?
penis?
Think so?
What
It is.
animal's
Well,
cock are we about
don't
to
let
eat?
It's not a
perfect be
cow.
the enemy of good. If you can get this stuff
a
in
bull's.
cooked,
Yeah.
cook it up, sear it.
I just don't
put
like
the
raw
spices.
food, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
Hassan's talking about how delicious the intestines. The cultures
Coconut
have
is
figured
really
out.
Good. Yeah, I love sheep intestine.
Bro, I'm not eating that. Fuck this.
That's a bull penis, dog. You have to. It's
why
gonna
you
make,
why you obsessed with eating dick and balls, bro?
Why not?
Okay, fair enough.
What
Good
do you
rebut.
what do you like? What are you obsessed with
by the way.
eating?
Dick and balls, bro. I like them raw in a
Well,
different form.
again, like supports like. You know, again, that's why the tissue is called what it is.
That's sus, man.
That looks super tender.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, it's not just dick and balls, right?
You're just gonna force us raw dick right now. We're about to eat raw.
Yo,
cock.
take me out for dinner first, man. I guess you are technically. Take me on a date first before you feed me
Hey,
your
this
dick.
is it. This is
This
it.
is our date.
Now, is that like a
Dude, that is
preserved?
way
It
too
smells
hard to
like
cut.
it's been
What's
pickled or
happening right
something.
now?
It's been pickled, yeah. So
Okay, interesting.
It is cooked because whenever you try to eat penis raw, it's soft. The
Say that
tissue,
again.
Whenever you try to eat penis raw, it's soft, but it's really hard to eat. Whenever you cook it, as soon as you put it in boiling water, it turns hard, but it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to eat. And then we pickle it
Tender.
to make it even more tender.
Yummy.
You
What do you
don't-
pickle it? What's your pickling process?
Does this taste bad?
Just vinegar and salt.
Okay.
I'll be honest, it's pretty much inedible.
Yeah. It's like gum.
And I say, hey, we're going on the H3 podcast. Let's do the legitimate things, and let's do some pickled pizzle. Like, let's have some fun because I'll do it with you guys.
He cut the tip of that dickhead. Like
Yo, Lorraine
one of y'all
Bobbitt
to-
be
for one of our
fucking
what?
For one of our guests.
flashbacks.
I don't even know what the
So-
fuck. I don't even know what part of the cock I'm supposed to be eating raw
Just the
right
tip,
now.
bro, and
I
the
think it's the
stem.
knee.
So if you don't like the flavor of this, so do you eat it regardless because it's good for you, or do
And
you
it's
not fuck
pickled.
with
You
this?
don't like the flavor of this, even though it's
100%
pickled?
what you said. You know, like somebody sold us that we're supposed to do things that we like, eat food that tastes good, right? The
Right.
foods that are best for us probably don't taste great, right? And then when you're eating, let's say you're eating what's your favorite food?
Definitely fermented penis for sure.
You look like the type.
Yeah.
But what really is your favorite food?
Oh, I don't know.
What's your favorite food? You got.
I don't know. I don't
why are
know.
you
I like,
dodging it? It's
no,
okay.
I'm not. I'm not. I like a
Frozen
steak.
pizza? Okay.
Steak.
Okay. Well, I was hoping to use another example. Let's just say for people that like donuts or for people that like crackers or whatever the fuck it is, right? How long does it take for you to devour that? Most people, it's like a minute or two, right? So you just enjoyed something that took a minute or two to do harm to you. You're going to live in this body another 23 hours a day, right? And so I still like to eat foods that are delicious, but I'm always going to eat the foods that are the most nutritious, that's going to allow me to feel and function and be my best
Right.
for most of the life that I'm living.
Got it.
So I'm okay. So I eat raw liver and raw bone marrow and raw testicle every single day.
You know,
So
the
does liver
bone
queen
marrow
and the
was
boy.
by far the best on there. The bone marrow was nice.
Good.
It's good.
Yeah,
Very
it was
fatty.
just butter.
Look at that test
I
he's
just
taking out
I don't
there,
even
man.
know.
Staring you down. Hassan.
Yeah,
see the
that's
veins
just
on
looking
there?
right at me.
Kiss
I'm
it.
never having that ever again.
Which one?
The testicle was
Okay.
not good.
How much you want to bet? We're going to do a part 2, and we'll have testicle ceviche. And how much you want to say? How much you want to bet you're going to say? I'll have seconds.
Yeah, I mean ceviche could be good, but that's actually taking something that is like unpleasant and turning it into something pleasant. Like for me, one of the things I always tell people in my community is like, look, your diet, you have to stick to it for the rest of your life. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad thing. Everything is a diet. You can have an unhealthy diet or you can have a healthy diet. And if you want to make sure that you have a healthy diet, you have to make sure that you find foods that you like that have decent macronutrients and that you can get an adequate amount of protein and feel like you are fulfilled and feel like your stomach is full. You know what I mean? Like, and what you're describing with respect to like, you know, super carb heavy foods is just that your body processes it way faster. It doesn't fill you up in the same exact way. It's like processed sugar. All that stuff's really bad. I think you can still every now and then sneak in something if you want to. But I do think that like everything I do, at least I am a hedonist. Everything I do, I try to make sure that the food that I eat, I eat chicken all the time. I eat chicken every day. I love chicken.
You like chicken liver?
But I make sure that chicken is prepared in a way that is still, you know, fun to consume because I want it to be tasty.
Sure.
So I whip it up in a way that like, you know, I still spice it a lot and you know, make sure that it's still consumable and good.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. If you're not going to be eating this stuff in the future again, you have to get this into your lives, right? People in your community. So I tell everybody the best way to get nose to tail organ meats, go on a hunt. Go establish this kind of connection with the animal and the land. You'll never look at taking an animal the same way. It changes everything. It creates a spiritual experience. If you're not going to do that, I get it. Most people won't. Go to a butcher, look another man in the eye, shake his hand, get to know where your meat is coming from. And if you're not going to do that, go to the grocery store or go to one of these online ranches like White Oak Pasture is incredible. Piedmontese is another one. Still, people don't want to do that because they don't want to taste it. They don't want to. They don't want to procure it. They don't want to taste it. They don't want to put it down their mouth. So if you're not going to do that, that's where a supplement comes in. We've recently, over the last 100 or 200 years, we took this nutrition out of our diet to our detriment, and now we're suffering with deficiencies that are immeasurable. And so when I say take a supplement, you can take Ancestral Supplements beef liver or bone marrow.
These are your
take
products.
This is the hashtag ad.
Yeah. Well,
This
that's
is it.
fine. No, go plug your shit, bro.
Well, again, at some point, you need to get this stuff in your life. And I always say liver is king because
Can I examine?
100%.
And where do people buy
While you
it?
examine, I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Go to Amazon.
Raised in New Zealand, grass-fed, grass-finished. This says it has asbestos in it. Just kidding.
I thought you were smart.
I'm just kidding.
Because here's the deal. You got to get this nutrition. I can't tell you how many kids today
So how do you make these?
are diagnosed and prescribed with conditions that are just nutrient deficiencies. And the mom hears from another mom that they just started giving their kid liver and bone marrow. And now that kid no longer expresses those symptoms of their diagnosis, right? The syntax. And now they no longer need those types of medications that are changing our neurochemistry. So if you can start by nutrition first, when I say nature had it right, this is nature.
Is it? It's like, I mean,
Let me
when
tell you
you're
what it
talking
is.
about primal nature, this doesn't summon
That
what comes to
is
mind.
that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
The only difference is the moisture's taken out of that.
But couldn't you say the same about GMO? It's just because it's not as like obviously accessible like in our imagination.
That's the biggest fucking stretch ever.
Is
Could
it?
you say our early ancestors turned that
Well,
into that?
You say you
Let
go,
me-
this
let me-
is
let me
this.
tell you-
I mean, you have it's in like a plastic. Like what's the gelatin?
What'd you think it was plastic?
I said gelatin.
It's from the animal. All of
I said
100% of that
gelatin,
is animal product.
What about the bottles? Plastic.
You got me. You got me.
I'm just saying.
But here's the thing: our early ancestors, they dried this. They made pemmican.
Right.
They stored it, right?
Okay,
And
yeah.
so this is very evolutionarily consistent.
Right.
This is ancestral. You don't have to taste it. And once again, remember how I'm talking about this. If you can go procure this yourself, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Right. The only time I take ancestral supplements, liver and bone marrow and beef organs, is when I'm traveling. Otherwise, I got Liver King Chef Lionel and Liver Queen and Liver Boys and we're eating this every single day, just like this. And so, again, this is the hierarchy. I want people to go out and get the real deal, the real McCoy.
Right.
If you're not willing to do that, you got to get this in your life. And so, so I know you're not going to be doing this consistently.
No.
If I can get you a 1 month supply of this,
I'll take it.
because I just want an honest
I will. I'll take it, and I'll be honest.
badass.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'll do the Liver King supplement. Yeah, let's do it.
Good. I appreciate you giving it a chance.
I'm gonna let you
maybe-
know it's gonna be really bad marketing for you when he doesn't change.
No, stop it.
His body
Because
composure doesn't change.
the thing is, I don't ever eat food like this. So if my body should be, deficient in it, right, or whatever it's in there.
Most people, when they're deficient in it, first thing they say is, I feel more energy.
Okay.
Right? And when you feel more energy, your mitochondria is starting to light up. Right? Your mitochondria is starting to light up.
that
You have
the
more
Star Wars
energy,
stuff?
more drive, it's perfectly Star Wars. Right? You have more of the currency to take action in life. And so that's why I say start with liver, because we got all 9 ancestral tenets, which I'm sure we're not going to get into all of these today. But if you start with liver, because liver is king, it's going to give you more drive to dominate in life.
Okay,
My
quick question.
mom
Before we eat the
sent
cow dick,
my
or-
mom sent a message. She
Oh, okay.
says she texted Dan, our producer. She says, "Tell Ethan, do not eat the raw meat."
Wow. How come? Why not?
Can we get my mom to call in, Dan? I think that'd be an interesting.
While
maybe.
we're waiting on that,
She's just a worried Jewish mother.
Yeah, I was about
She
to
worries.
say.
Get her on the phone, Dan.
So she didn't eat this stuff when she was growing up? What about her parents?
Dude, they both lived to nearly 100, and they grew up eating like goddamn, like the most processed food imaginable. Because they grew up like almost like Depression era, so they were eating like Spam and
Okay, question.
all kinds of gnarly
Steroids.
processed meats.
Steroids, primal or subprimal? Steroids, primal or subprimal?
Subprimal.
Wait, why? I like steroids. I
Do you
don't
take steroids?
No, but the only reason why I don't take it is because I'm like afraid that I'm going to want to cycle all the time and chase the testosterone boost that you get from it. And that is one of the main reasons why I've stayed away from it. Like I see it literally like the same. I treat it the same way I treat cocaine. I'll probably do TRT once my T levels start.
I don't believe you.
declining.
I think after we get to know each other and you get to know the 9 ancestral tenets and you get to understand, and this stuff is in the literature. If you want evidence-based literature instead of the bro science, Google this and use Google Scholar. You'll find this in the literature. 50 years ago, we had 50% higher testosterone. Today, people take steroids to increase their testosterone by 50%. So why not just do these ancestral tenets?
I mean, I got good T levels currently. I'm just saying
you say they're good because that's the new normal, and that's the relative difference. But how much you want to bet you could double your testosterone naturally by doing these 9 ancestral tenets?
What, like fucking doing a simulated hunt?
Why do we need so much testosterone? Does it just make your hair fall out and like make you impotent when you have too much testosterone?
Oh yeah, I take
no,
I take DHT blockers. Technically, finasteride. That's subprimal. That's the hormone.
You take
thing.
a what?
DHT blocker, like for my hair.
Oh,
I
you
take
hair
Rogaine
stuff.
and minoxidil.
Do you ever take off your hat?
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, beautiful. You have a beautiful head.
Listen, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but so a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was all about like PEDs and steroids, right? And then, same question, same answer. I didn't touch the stuff, don't touch the stuff, right? And then I think the haters, okay, this got old. So then I don't know if you've heard this, but Liver King got ab implants.
I've heard that, yeah.
That was the thing. That I got ab implants, right? And then after ab implants, it was, Liver King always wore a hat. Then he took off the hat. You know why? Because he got hair implants.
No, you got real hair.
Oh, I know I got real hair.
Beautiful hair.
And then people started saying, I shaved my body. And you know what? I don't grow a lot of hair on my body, but can you tell?
No, you didn't shave.
I don't shave my fucking body.
No.
And then people started saying I had gene editing done. But you know why they said that?
What? Is that possible?
Well, I'm the one who actually said that. I'm like, hey, if we're going to have these ridiculous accusations, I'm going to have some ridiculous fun. Listen, the only accusation that's true is that I do have a Polish PhD chemist on staff. He does make designer drugs that are undetectable by any technology. This is the only thing that's true, which is also obviously a fucking joke, right?
Oh, damn. I was like, damn, hit me up. Like, I'm trying to get on the
hold on.
designer shit.
Just for fun, this will be a soundbite, and I guarantee, because this is all over the place, people really say, oh, here's a soundbite. Hey, you said it yourself. You said that you have ab implants, right? And they don't listen to the whole thing. Again, you're going to make these accusations. I'm going to have fun with it.
I want to say a lot of people accuse you of taking steroids, from Joe Rogan up, which I'm glad you're going to go on a show to confront that. And Hassan, I hate to out you. He thinks you take steroids. And he's a gym rat. I'm not. I don't know.
I have no problem with steroids, for the record.
So no, I know, but he says he doesn't, right? So we have to. Now, how people say it's not possible to have that body at your age. Is it possible if he's like
no, it is possible.
It is?
I think
that's what Joe Rogan said, right?
Well, it all comes down to hormones. Plus, I've conclusively proved that. There's a YouTube video where we had a legitimate doctor come on.
You did a blood test?
Yeah, I mean, if you Google Liver King blood work, you can pull it up, and we go over everything. But here's the thing: what this comes down to, 100% of the time, is hormone optimization. And it's the 9 ancestral tenets. I'm going to get through 4 of them, right? All 9. Here they are: sleep, eat, move. Shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, and bond.
Do you say cold?
Cold, thermal pressures, right? If you sleep like shit, you're going to tank your testosterone by 50%. And you don't realize this, but how much you want to bet relatively to the relative way you could optimize sleeping, you're sleeping like shit. If you just could sleep better, you would increase your testosterone probably by 30 or 40%, right? And this is a fact, and your neurochemistry. The same thing goes with how you eat and how you move. If you move like shit, and if you don't lift heavy shit, you're not optimizing your testosterone, right? If you keep in the 4th ancestral tenet is shield, if you keep your cell phone next to your dick and balls or that close to you, and you have ionizing radiation, if you're heating up this is
in my
also
pocket right now. Holy shit!
And again, these little things, Hassan, it's these little things that all stack and
when
compound.
I was younger, I was afraid of that, but I don't know. I just kind of gave up on that.
I don't think that's real.
Don't give up on it. You don't think what?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi, you think Wi-Fi.
But I just said ionizing radiation, right? This is in the literature. This is why the cell phone companies say don't keep it within 2 inches of your head. How often
do you say that?
How many is it? 2 centimeters?
I don't think they have any.
100% there is. So this is. I'll forcefully push back on this.
Go ahead.
This is the known ionizing radiation, which equals heat, right? There's other things we talk about, which are non-ionizing radiation.
You're talking about heat, like having like a thing that produces heat so close to your ball.
That's what that is, and that's on your dick and balls.
Yeah, no, that's basic.
That's basic.
I have to correct you. Ionizing radiation is not heat. It has to do with like the energy that can remove atoms and stuff from molecules. So that's the kind of stuff that would cause cancer, like energy coming off radiation.
I do think that heat, like having a heat substance in your laptop, like having a laptop on your lap, like that stuff is not good for you, but that's just basic stuff. You shouldn't be heating your
but that's way different than like being able to edit your DNA. Heating your balls, obviously, that's why your balls...
But that's what you're doing.
But there's people that do
that. No,
that.
but there's no heat coming off this.
Hold on one second.
There's no heat coming off that.
Feel it.
I don't need to feel it.
Room temperature.
No,
Dude,
there's
trust me, it's not room temperature.
There's definitely, if it's in your pocket, there's definitely
It's sending and receiving data.
Yeah, but your balls, it can negatively affect your balls if it's like heating them up like 10, 20.
Let me tell you, what's
Yo,
the
that's
benefit?
Room temp, dude. I'm not crazy. That's room temp.
It's a little bit warmer.
The
Listen,
screen just turned on.
what's the purpose? What's the purpose of keeping it there? Why not hedge? Why not hedge? How many kids do you have? You have 2, and you got a beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want to be around for them?
He's trying to get a vasectomy personally, like that.
Yeah, but I don't think I personally, based on what I've read and what I understand of the science, is that cell phones do not produce enough radiation, aka heat. They don't do ionizing radiation, but the heat they produce is not enough to cause any damage to anything.
No, I'm good with everything you just said.
Actually, you know what's interesting? From outer space, there's way deadlier
but that's all native radiation.
But I'm saying it's more powerful and it's coming through.
I wouldn't say it's more powerful. It's completely different. We've never been exposed with the types of non-native things that we've invented. We've never been exposed. This is all an experiment. Let me say this. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but why not when you sleep at night? Put it in airplane mode. When you're sleeping at night.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right. When you're sleeping at night, why not put your Wi-Fi on a timer? You don't need your Wi-Fi when you're sleeping at night, do you?
No.
Okay, and what we do is we turn off all the electricity at night. I'm not saying go that far, but when you sleep, this is the most important part of the day where you're going to recover and reload and recalibrate, where you're going to heal. So why not hedge? Listen, there's no conclusion. You've got to figure out where are the incentives to actually do these multi-million-dollar studies to do this. And this is just part of the category of SHIELD. My main point, which we've gotten off on this tangent, is if you do these 9 ancestral tenets, what you're going to do is you're going to optimize your hormones. Your testosterone will at least be 30 to 40 to 50%, if not 100% higher than what it is. And then these benefits stack and compound over time.
I mean, yeah, what you're describing is you know, I mean, it's going to come across as dismissive is what I'm saying, but what you're describing is basic concepts that I 100% agree with. It's just like a little bit of marketing associated with it. Like you're making it more fun for people to follow along. But like, yeah, you're saying don't be sedentary, move around, which is incredibly important.
And lift heavy shit.
And also, yeah, and you know, engage in something that's like physically challenging. I agree. And also sleep well, which is anyone that thinks that that's wrong or bad is just incorrect.
And those are the first 4 tenets, right? But thermal pressures, it's a legitimate deal. When you go visit any primitive culture in the world, they do all these things. They get the sun. They don't slather their skin in sunblock and wear clothes all the time, right? There's no technology. They don't have phones. There's no antennas.
I did want to ask,
but
do
their
you use
skin's like leather though.
Do you use sunscreen ever?
No.
Right.
I say I eat my sunscreen.
But you know, in Africa, obviously our ancestors had dark skin to compensate for the amount of sun they got. Your ancestors, based on your skin color, probably come from Europe or northern countries,
right.
And so obviously they adapted to wearing clothing, and not having the sun so much, and that's why.
Well, what they adapted to is a different latitude, right? A different strength of sun, right? Because
and you can't
there was less sun.
Do like thousands of years of evolution with one generation, though. Like,
right, but within 3 generations, what you can do is you can become infertile, and within 3 generations, you can become fertile again, right? This is called genetic momentum. Right, and this is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I like that you said that I put a marketing spin on it, but this was never my message that I invented. This is the message of our early ancestors, of your ancestors, right? All I've done is I've studied these primitive culture tribes. I've gone and I've lived with them, and I've organized this into these 9 ancestral tenets. So again, I try to make it simple. I say, hey, let's all just start by eating liver. If you start feeling better,
that's one liver.
Well, it's eat. But again,
yeah.
if I tell you everything, it's like a golf swing. You're not going to do shit, right? If I tell you how to do an Olympic lift, you're not going to tell you all 9. You're not going to do. So start with liver, because liver is king. In 30 days, we're going to talk, and you're going to say, you know what? I feel better. I'm in a better mood, and then you're going to say, what's next? And I'm going to say,
okay,
stack the sun and the earth. Okay, what's next?
That's a small order.
And then the small order is just put the phone on airplane mode when we sleep. Okay, what's next?
Okay.
Little shit like
I'm
that.
excited, liver.
But the one thing I'll say about the liver is that it's like very fatty. So obviously, if your like main form of consumption is liver, you're gonna get fucking gout. You know what I mean? But I guess no one can. Isn't that how you do it? It's like high. It's like the quality of fat. That's how you get gout. Is like when you eat like super fatty, not fatty foods, but the type of fat that liver contains is what causes you to get gout.
I mean, gout in prurines is mainly from carbohydrates, and
which, by the way,
and
very
also
primal.
alcohol.
A lot of people got gout. A lot of people that, especially rich people, that it was considered like the rich man's disease, right? Back in the day, like the king's disease. But yeah, they ate a lot of fatty liver and these like complex fats they were consuming and then they got gout.
So what you're saying is that you can eat too much meat.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I do.
That's an
I do
attack
believe,
on your
I'm
very.
saying this is someone
That's an attack on
nature.
what? Say it. Yeah, that's an attack.
I
You're
say this
attacking
as
the
someone
king.
who loves meat. Like I love eating meat. I'm a huge fan. I eat a lot of meat. I love steaks. I love all sorts of different land meat. I don't eat any seafood.
Yeah.
Which is probably fucked up, but I just can't. I can't.
You don't
stand
like it. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't like it. But I do still want to put fiber in there. You know what I mean? I gotta eat some greens to make sure that there's like it's at least a little bit balanced. Like.
Prevents
Hey,
colon
listen, I'm
cancer.
fine. You could hedge a little
you're
bit.
a healthy
there ain't no
person.
primitive culture tribe that has gout. There ain't nobody that I know that.
Yeah, because they don't
eats
get that much meat.
Yeah, they
probably.
don't eat that much liver.
The
probably.
primitive culture tribes.
Because meat was
This
probably
is the first thing they eat.
But I think meat was like a luxury for them because they were mostly foragers.
Primitive culture tribes.
How many times
Yeah.
do they have it?
I love it when
week,
people
though?
say this. I'm like, hey man, I read all the same books you've read.
Yeah.
Right. I've actually gone and I've lived with them. I've hunted with them.
They don't
I
eat berries?
with them. If we come across a bush of berries, we'll pick some berries. If we come across a baobab tree with a honey nest, with a bee nest, we'll pick out some honeycombs and we'll get bitten, right? Opportunity is a moving target. When it's right in front of you, you better fucking seize it. When you see calories in a life where you don't know where your calories are going to come from, you take it.
Do they
but
farm?
99% of the calories are coming from nose to tail foods.
No
they don't
way,
have gout.
dude. Do they farm?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said no way.
I'm there.
They don't farm at all.
No,
They don't-
you-
they
I
don't
know
have
you are, but
they don't
like-
they don't gather
They
at all.
farm. They farm. That's how we. That's
Modern
how
day
we.
primitive
You know
culture tribes?
You know how we came out of the cave? Agriculture.
Well, how recent is? When did we start farming?
Oh, I don't know. A
so
couple
we got-
thousand years.
so we got-
Several thousand years.
So we got 3 million years.
10,000 years, maybe.
We got 3 million years of our evolutionary history. In the smallest fraction of our time, we started doing that.
Yeah, but that's when everything happened. That
What's
was
your
like a
point?
big breakthrough
all
for
I'm
us.
saying is the smallest fraction of our time we started doing that.
Right.
What my thesis is.
Yeah, primitive
is that's to our
accumulation.
detriment.
This man is preaching the gospel to Karl Marx. I'm just gonna say. it. He said Karl Marx primal.
Is Karl Marx primal or
You guys
Subprimal?
can say whatever you say. You know,
You're not touching that?
Again, this is what I know. You go visit with these people. They're the most beautiful.
They don't
they're
farm?
disposition. There is no farm.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
Everyone's a little bit different, but I'll tell you about the Hadza. I'll just give you two examples: the Hadza and the Maasai. Right. So the Hadza, they every day is a brand new day, and they go on a hunt every day. And if they're successful in the hunt, they eat. If they're not successful, they don't eat. That's all it is. Every single day they
Yeah,
they
which
go
is
on
why they're at a fat deficit. Which is why it's like hard for them to.
Why do you say
like-
they're at a fat deficit?
Well, because like you said, if you're fasting, if you're not getting like
They're usually successful in the hunt, and when they get large game, they get plenty of fat, and we consumed a lot of fat with them.
I mean, if the whole village is eating one animal's liver, they're not going to eat like a full. That's why it was considered like the rich
You got a
man's
20-pound
disease.
liver.
Have you seen a whole liver before?
I mean, it's big,
Huge.
Yeah,
And then let me tell you about the Maasai. So that's just a Hadza, right? The Maasai, they eat three things. It's milk, blood, and meat. They're pastoralists, and that's all they eat: milk, blood, and meat.
How many members of the tribe? Curious.
And the band that we actually were with, 2 or 3 different bands of the Maasai. I would say there's about 20 or 30. in each
Okay,
one.
small little tribes.
Small, efficient. They knew exactly what their role was.
Interesting.
But you look at how they're eating and how they're kicking ass in life, how happy they are, how beautiful they are, their dispositions. Trust me when I tell you, you want some of what they
I know,
have.
but they've never watched anime, which is I'm just saying, like yeah, no, they're great, they're having fun, but like I feel like I could give one of them an aneurysm by showing them like a Twitter post. You know what I mean? Like they would be like, "What the fuck is this?" Which I like that stuff.
I think my cameraman gave him an aneurysm when he brought his drone.
Yeah,
And everybody
that's
wanted to
pretty-
fly the drone, you know, like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
By the
but
way,
that's, but that's cool.
My mom is on standby. Let's just bring her on real fast. She's cautioning me
Want me to bring
against.
her in?
Well, the one thing we haven't eaten is the penis. That's actually cooked.
God,
and
I thought we
Hassan,
were gonna forget
and
about
Hassan,
that.
go ahead and eat that penis.
No. We're eating it together. I'm not eating it by myself. You were gonna.
Well,
have it.
you started off. I'm
No,
gonna
no,
talk
no,
to my
no.
mom.
I swear to God, when you
Right?
pointed
Makes
at
you
it,
trying to wiggle out of this.
Yeah,
Ethan.
yeah.
when you pointed at it, I started smelling it again.
Just not what? You never had a pickle? You never eat pickled?
No, I
should get
love
down on his
pickle,
son.
not pickled dick though.
Have you tried it?
No, I have not ever tried.
Pick a
whole
piece of
penis.
that down.
I'm not doing this without you.
I'm gonna do it. I promise. I just want you to go first.
Why do you want me to go first? Like, which part of it? Which
tip.
part of it should I try?
Oh, the tip, definitely.
Got the
Just
drum
the
roll
tip,
going.
baby.
Wait,
You
which
play
one's
just
the
the
tip?
tip.
The
Liver
yellow
King?
part?
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Here it
Dude,
is.
what the
Drum
fuck
roll.
are you doing? He said it was bad, dude. You're punishing.
I know if Liver King says it's bad, man, I
You're
can only
punishing
imagine.
me because I called you subprimal.
It's like
I am subprimal. I don't have to fight it.
This is, dude. That's a fat. Ooh, wait a minute.
It has some of the testicle juice on there also. You got the good
Wait
one.
a
Yummy.
minute.
Balls
First
and
of all,
testes.
This is the tip of the penis.
Is that that's officially the
That's
tip?
the tip, yeah. The yellow part is the.
Is that considered the
It smells
the
pickled,
filet
so that's
mignon?
good.
The tip.
Yeah.
About to find out.
I'm not gonna be able to have the whole thing. I don't
Just
think.
crunch
it's
it.
gummy. Like
It's like
not,
gum. It's like gum, yeah.
Yeah, you can't fucking.
It's primal gum.
Chef, do you like this food on your free time when you're at home with your family? Do you eat this stuff?
I love working with it because it's, raw organs is
It's
something
so
that
sinewy.
Yeah, you don't have to swallow it. You can.
I can
call
hear the
it
crunching in it.
subprimal. Well, let's see. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Dick Tips.
He's having a hard. Son is chewing. He's having a hard time with
Yeah.
it.
Just got swallowed.
He's putting
Just
it
down that dick, dude.
Wow.
I want to see.
Well, hold
you
on.
fucking
Well
chew
done.
on that shit,
I
dude.
gotta ask my mom for permission
Oh, no
first.
shot.
Okay.
She wants
But
some
just-
cock
well,
right
that's cooked.
now.
Well, here she is. Okay, Mom. Yeah, we're here with Liver King. This is my mom. You urged me against.
Hello, Liver King.
Nice
and
to meet
Hassan.
you.
Yeah.
Hi.
You're urging me not to eat the raw meat. Is that right?
No, do not eat raw meat. It's full of salmonella. I mean, if you get a real, you just kill the meat and it's really fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to eat it, you
good.
can. But
There, she just submit you that you're.
Thank you so much for the. She just gave her blessing.
Yeah. So they say.
No.
Oh,
I mean, kill the animal. No, it's.
She just said
Well,
it.
Mom, hold on. I'll have them explain the life cycle of this meat, and then you can deem if it's worthy or not.
Well,
So, Chef, go ahead.
I did cook the penis, so the penis isn't raw. So you have her blessing to eat the penis.
Yeah, the penis is pickled. Is that okay?
It's pickled. It's cooked.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean,
Listen, everything else is ancient history. We've already had all the other raw.
Yeah.
stuff. Now all that's
Unfortunately,
left
Mom.
is pickled penis.
Unfortunately, you're a little late.
you know what? I saw that. I was texting Dan saying, "Don't let."
Only a mother's love.
All right. Anything you want to say
You
to
know
Liver
what?
King, Mom?
I will say one thing about liver. If you're really anemic, liver is a really important thing to eat, cook. But
Your mom's very primal, by the way.
Agreed.
All right. So you're saying my mom says cook the liver, not raw liver. My mom.
right, well, there's two rules of thought, because liver is what purifies all the yuck in your body. So it goes through your liver. In the old days, doctors used to say, "Oh, make sure that you eat liver once a week," and then doctors were saying, not so good because of all these impurities.
Yeah, the liver does detox, but it doesn't store toxins, right? It's a filter to conjugate for detox pathways 1 and 2, but it doesn't store toxins.
There it is.
Well, there's two rules of thought, but I know that it's really rich in iron, but you want to eat it cooked. So
there it is. My mom is.
Agreed to disagree. Agree to disagree. But when you were growing up, did you eat liver?
oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she loves liver.
See, and this
Yeah.
is what I was saying earlier. Like with the genetic momentum that we had, our own parents and grandparents and forefathers in perpetuity ate nose to tail, had this robust strength and health, and we're now recently losing that, and we're abandoning these ways. And so it's really interesting to me that our own parents ain't this way. Our own grandparents ain't this way.
Cooked liver.
Well, I don't care how you get it.
Right.
I don't care how you get it.
I think there are other factors.
All right. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate that.
All right. Bye,
They said you're
guys.
primal, by the way.
Very primal.
Primal.
Yeah, you got the primal stamp of approval. All right. Thank you,
Which,
Mom.
Great to
which
meet you.
Ethan
All right,
has
all
yet
right.
to
And you
get.
got her blessing.
Dude, what the fuck is the size of that?
Yeah, dog. Come on. Put that shit in your mouth.
Okay, well, first of all,
Oh,
here, let me
no.
cut a little.
Oh!
I'll just cut you a bigger piece.
Oh, I don't want the one that touched. Why is this one so gnarly?
That's it.
They're all
That's end
gnarly,
piece.
bro.
You mean the rest of them aren't gnarly?
Well,
Are you calling my food not gnarly?
sorry, chef.
Sorry, I forgive you.
But this piece seems like extra sinewy.
They're all sinewy. It's like, yeah, see how hard that was to cut?
Sure.
It's small.
That
but
counts.
What? That's such a baby piece. You're literally
I'm
getting
gonna spit it out. I'll just be real with you.
Okay, just no, have the full thing. Have that full thing. Have that full thing.
No, I'm gonna cut because I'll just be honest with you. If the whole thing is not going down, I just want to give it the best shot I can.
Let's face it, none of it's going down. It's going in the mouth. Just do your best. You could.
Yeah, put that raw
Hey,
cock in your mouth.
don't be using that beta soundbite.
It's not raw.
What
Oh,
do you
yeah.
They're calling me betas.
But here's the thing: if you get this down, it will overshadow that subprimal.
I'll redeem
and then you'll
myself?
be alpha beta. Let's do
That's
it.
a sigma. You know what sigma male is?
What is it?
It's a man who walks his own path. He's not
Oh.
nor alpha nor beta.
I'm down.
Yeah, so I accept that moniker. Okay, cheers, guys. I'm about to redeem myself. Why?
You can hear it. You can hear the crunch.
Oh, he's doing it.
Why is it like this? Why do you eat this, liver?
for your dick to get healthier, right?
Is this
that
gonna
what
make
it
my
is?
dick harder?
Don't you want a second dick? This will help you grow a second dick.
I always have.
I know. Now you're gonna have one. You wake up tomorrow. It'll
welcome.
start budding.
You are welcome.
I was trying to see if I could hear how
You
fucking
look like
chewy it is.
Blackbeard from Popeye the Sailor Man. The way you're
you got
chewing
it?
on that.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, take a little water. Put it down.
You have to put it down, or else you're gonna spit.
Oh,
it.
you're that close, man. You're that close.
You're so close.
Let's go, Sigma.
It won't go down.
This is the best episode we've done.
Guys, let's give him a chant. Primal, 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 primal.
Down the hatch, Ethan, you got this.
Come on.
It won't go down. It's too chewy.
Just suck on it. Just swallow.
I've already absorbed all the flavor. I'm
Just knock it back like it's a pill.
Yeah, drink some water. Come on.
Or some blood.
No beta sound bites.
How about Sigma?
Sigma is sound bites. I can't
You're
swallow
not.
it.
Just knock it down with water.
I chewed it. It's like, well, I can't do it.
You got this. Take a deep breath and swallow.
I don't know why my body's resisting.
There we go. It's all in the brain.
Or the penis.
This is how I felt when you
I'm
made me
swallowing.
eat that fucking frozen pizza. Especially some of the frozen pizza.
Oh,
This
you
is
got
so
it.
good.
You got it.
No, he just keeps drinking more water.
Oh, pretty much. We're gonna go primal.
It's too much.
You got some of it down. Okay, spit it out. Let's move on.
You got the subprimal bucket next to you.
Holy shit! Have you had any of it? Oh, bro! Subprimal! Oh man, you tried. You tried, but you
I
failed.
chewed it up, liver. I did more than him. I tasted that shit. I chewed it. I
chewed
experienced
it
it.
too.
He
You
took the
picked it
tip.
back though. I can't deep
That was
throat
a
like you.
catastrophic failure. You know, thank God Hassan is on here just eating like a champ.
I mean, I like everything that grows on the land. I'll eat all kinds of land meat, but I can't eat any fucking seafood. I hate it.
It's all in my mouth.
That was suboptimal.
Thank you so much.
Well,
for the,
this was a great eating experience.
oh my god.
Like I
damn.
said, you know, you sent me all these incredible gifts to be here today, and I thought, you know, I got to reciprocate. I got to bring some
Thank
value.
you so much.
Yeah, I was
man.
about to say this is not a great gift. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, don't, maybe next
Should
time.
we leave the pickled penis for another guest?
You know, how long does that stay preserved?
Probably for a good week.
Oh, just a week?
It could be more, but we opened it already. So once you open it, that's whenever the 2
I
weeks
see,
start.
I
and
He's
see.
very conservative when it comes
That's,
to this.
I mean, that's good.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
But I wanted to ask you more questions. So when you're at home, do you eat the raw meats or no?
I take the ancestral supplements.
the
With the raw
supplements.
meats, I'm a chef. My job is to make these as tasty as possible because you taste them yourself. someone who is not raised off of liver, eating raw liver is not going to be good. And so,
Wait,
what the fuck? We just did. Wait, what? We just did.
Yeah,
that,
where's the
though.
salt at?
it's not supposed to be good though. This is nutritional value.
Right.
He's talking
you wanna
about
get the
from a
nutrition.
taste standpoint.
It's all about the nutrition.
Yeah, and so what I
What's
do
your
is
specialty?
my specialty.
Yeah.
Nose
You-
to tail.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I grew up.
Do you make like a certain type of cuisine?
I was trained from French and Italian chefs. So a lot of my
okay,
food is
okay,
French and Italian
okay.
inspired in the sense of I don't use too many spices,
Mm-hmm.
which with the Liver King family, you don't want to use too many spices. You want the flavor to come from the organs. You want to try to bring out as much of that if you haven't had
Could get
raw
the-
liver,
those.
fresh from the cow, it's so much more sweet. And so you want to try to bring out those flavors, not hide them, but just complement them.
And let be honest with me. You have a family. You have 2 boys and a wife. Do you make them eat this shit? Too?
I don't make them. They all
Do
eat
they?
it.
Do
You think they sneak in a Krispy Kreme every now and then? You think?
No, hell no.
Yeah.
No
Your
way.
boys
come
have
on.
got
If
to.
my boys would do that, I would disown them.
Yeah.
And Liver Queen and I
healthy.
would start working on another boy right now.
Oh no.
Right now. But here, this is what I always say.
Have they ever tasted the delicious nectar of the gods, Diet Mountain Dew? That's because like, look, I eat, a lot of meat and a lot of healthy stuff, but like that is my weakness. I understand it.
Oh,
I
there's
fucking
penis in my
love Diet Mountain Dew.
Leave it in there. Do you give your kids a choice on what they get to eat?
Yeah. Yeah. If they don't like something.
Well, you have a little one. How old is your?
I mean, he's 3 and 6 months, so they're
Princess.
young.
And do you give your 3-year-old a choice?
Fuck no.
Well, because here's the deal. If you
I
really
feel like
give
if
your
you had
kids
a
a
choice,
choice,
you'd be eating crayons and shit. They're 3, right? I mean,
but because there's something that's happened in our culture recently where it's like, oh yeah, you should let your kids choose whatever they want to do, right? And then you should support that, and then you should be their best friend, and then guess what? You should be responsible for them growing up and hating their lives.
no, my
But let
parents
me
had a
say-
terrible diet, and that's the reason why my entire family's obese. I grew up obese as well. 100%, I will control
Beta.
what my children eat. Yeah, no, it wasn't good. Like, 100%, I will control what my children eat. But I also do think that like every now and then they can have like a little, little treat every now and then. Yeah,
If you build the biological resilience, they're going to be able to withstand some of that poison. This is why we drink alcohol. This is why we still indulge in Wi-Fi every once in a while. But here's the deal: if you give your kids a choice, do you want to eat a pile of liver or a pile of donuts? What will they choose? If you give them a choice, hey, you're going to go work
your
out.
kids are no way your kids are choosing a pile of liver though.
But you know,
This is why I don't let them choose. This is the point. This is exactly the point. I do not give them the choice, right? Categorically speaking, if you were to give them the choice, they're going to choose the path of least resistance.
Don't you worry that they'll relapse though? Because like this is something I see a lot where like children want to be, they got a little anarchist streak in them, right? So
Sure.
they like want to go against their parents and how they were raised. Don't you worry that they're going to become like donut consumers later on in life?
So again, if you give them a choice, if they want to get in the cold plunge or if they just want to go chill on the couch, what are they going to choose, right? And so the way that we're raising them, if I'm worried about that, I'll tell you what I'm worried about. I told you earlier, I have one job to do as a dad, to affirm them with the depth of challenge, worth, and potential so that they come to believe in themselves. They know extreme ownership, leadership, responsibility over the exact life that they shape and create. When you have power, that true ultimate dominion over self, when you realize that every action you can prospectively define and shape and create that life you want to live in, I'm okay if they hate me. I've always said this. I've said this multiple times. I would rather you hate me than you hate yourself. I'm giving them the weaponry so that they know how to lead their lives. And am I worried about them relapsing? You got to remember, my why in the world is that my kids couldn't breathe. My kids were allergic to everything. They were going to the hospital because of the shit that I was feeding them. And then I had to solution my way out of this. They couldn't breathe. They were always wheezing. They had bags around their eyes. Going to sleep.
your kids were sick?
They were horrifically
Oh,
sick.
really? Like asthma and stuff?
It was like chronic, and they couldn't breathe. And
How old were they when this was happening?
they were babies. I mean,
Oh, they
two.
were young.
Yeah.
Isn't that good though? Like you get, I mean, I was apparently very sick as a child, and like now I
I
just
don't think
never
you want
really.
a sick kid.
Yeah.
How many
I
times
never-
did you go to the hospital because you couldn't breathe? Did the ambulance have to pick you up because you were turning
I
blue?
don't. I think like I was literally not supposed to be born. Like my at the time they were in London. My dad was getting his a doctorate at the London School of Economics, and the general practitioner was like, "Yeah, we got to abort. We got to abort this fucking child, yeah.
This
That's
little-
what the fucking doctor said, and he was like, nah, fuck it. He said, fuck it, we ball.
Well, actually, I'm interested in what you're saying because, so is this when the Liver King was born?
100% it was.
Okay,
Because
interesting.
we did it out of medical necessity.
So
Because
you-
every doctor has given us more Benadryl and more EpiPens. I'm done with that solution. Right? All we're doing is sedating them and medicating them, and they can't go out and explore the world because guess what? You need to have an EpiPen and Benadryl around them all the time, and then you got to coach people on how to use it because they were turning blue and the ambulance was coming to pick them
And
up.
so, how did you discover this new path that to address?
I just started reading. I
started reading.
as many books as I could, and then finally I came upon a book. Sally Fallon wrote this book, Nourishing Traditions, and it was all about the ancestral way of living, and it made sense to me. It made sense to me that the way that we've lived for millions of years to heal and be healthy is what we still expect today in the modern world to heal and be healthy. And I said, holy shit, is it possible the food that we're giving them could be making them sick?
And so, what did you start feeding them? Like
This is probably the most interesting thing, right? So we cleaned house. So I'm going to answer all this. I'm not worried about relapse because of where we came from, right? Because of where we came from. And then if they want to go out and do some stupid shit when they're older, they're so robust and they're so resilient they can take that shit on now. But because what we ended up doing is we ended up cleaning house. We threw everything out. And guess what they ate?
What'd they eat?
Nothing. Nothing. They wouldn't eat nothing.
Oh, they weren't into any of the food.
But because the first
Yeah,
foods
if
are
you're
like
four,
bone broth.
I suspect you don't want to eat fucking liver.
You want to eat liver and bone broth when you're four? Guess what? They would eat nothing, and then my wife's parents came over and said, I can't believe you're doing this to your kids. And she started crying. It was like 2 or 3 days. They're having Hertzheimer detox reactions. It's like a microbial die-off, and they look sick. They're not
What's
eating.
up? You starved her too? You were like, nah, we're eating liver in this house.
That's right.
Goddamn.
Yeah. But really, all about the kids. I said, you know what? I'm not going back to that hellhole. My kids need a better life, and this is the path to that better life. So I told her, we're doing this, and thank God, within about a day, when you don't eat for about 3 days, you'll eat anything.
Right.
And so we would put the liver in front of the kids for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm like, hey, guess what's coming for the next meal?
Raw liver.
It's gonna be liver again.
Or was it cooked liver?
I think it was actually steamed liver, wasn't it?
Was cooked.
Some raw, some steamed, and then some
Okay,
egg yolks. And guess what? When you're hungry, you'll eat anything.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Your palate changes. Your whole physiology changes. The light bulb comes on. The bags around their eyes go away. Now they're breathing without no wheezing. There's no problem. There's no resistance. And a personality emerges.
Interesting.
That you feel so guilty that you were pushing that personality back for that many years.
And how did you decide on raw liver?
Yeah, well, again, like Sally Fallon, she talks about this in her book.
Okay.
Weston A. Price talks a lot about this. Natasha Campbell McBride in the GAPS diet, they talk a lot about this. And this is the evolutionarily consistent foods that have the least amount of issues when you introduce them to people that are really sensitive to food.
I see. So in this literature, they said the liver is a
It's
good
probably like 3
starting
things.
point.
It's you start with like bone broth, and then a few days later, when you don't have any reactions to bone broth, like you introduce some raw liver, and then you introduce egg yolks, and then you start introducing like there's kind of like a protocol to it.
It sounds like they have some kind of food allergy. Have you been able to figure out what kind of foods?
We had them tested a million times.
Really?
We couldn't figure out what was causing what. You know, and again, like they would touch a dog, they would break out in hives.
Wow,
Does that sound like a
interesting.
food allergy? I mean, they would break out
No,
in
it just
hives.
sounds like they're have a lot of allergies.
There's something going on from a immunologic standpoint.
Right.
And again, when you can't breathe, it's, okay, enough is enough.
Yeah, that's scary. I get it.
And then listen, there's no dog and there's no food around, and they go into an attack. And there's something about dust and whatever substance, what's in the
Can
air.
you be around dogs now?
Now they're good to go.
Oh, okay,
now they're
good.
strong as oxes.
You don't want to deprive them of that. Dogs are great. I love dogs.
We got a pack of Dobermans at the house,
Hell yeah.
and I was so concerned when we first got dogs.
That's
like,
why he doesn't need to have Wi-Fi anymore. He still has security. He's got
Yeah,
a pack of
exactly.
Dobermans.
You got those Dobermans.
That's right. Well, I said,
Do they eat raw liver?
oh, they just like us. But I said,
that's
I pray to
interesting.
God that they're not going to be allergic to the Dobermans because I do not want to have to get rid of one of my boys.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, not right, of course.
Because everything is good.
Right.
Everything is good. Everything worked out. But remember, you ask, am I worried about them relapsing? If you understood where we came from, why we had to do this, how we've rescued them, the kick-ass life that they're living now, the drive that they have, the strength that they have, the courage and mastery that they have in their lives, like I know that we're on the right path.
Do they go to public school or are they home taught? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, homeschool.
Okay, yeah, because out in the world, if you go to like public school, they're eating pizza.
Yeah,
and
they got that
having
Michelle
chips,
Obama special.
and we can't expose them to that, right?
No, they can be exposed to all this. I mean, even when they were going to pub.
They bring in a little lunchbox. It's like, boom, open it up. It's just liver.
That's what they did.
What?
That's what they did.
That's crazy. They're
They would
gonna
open up
get
the
bullied, man. What are you
lunchbox,
doing?
and they would have a ribeye steak. They would have their liver. They would have their bone marrow.
Wow, and it's cooked.
Some of it was raw. But the cool thing
How do
is
you keep that fresh through the school day?
it doesn't have to be fresh. Again, people think,
Okay.
I mean, I can eat this in 5 hours. I can eat this in 3 days.
Right.
Again, we slowly acclimate. And
You're not going to be
inoculate.
chewing on that like a bully stick.
Yo.
By the way, that is literally what dogs.
Yeah, I know it's thick. And
Yeah.
it smells so fucking foul.
Yeah, it's so bad.
So did you ever get complaints from like teachers or peers being like, "Yo, what the fuck are you feeding your kid?"
You know, we've had CPS called on us.
Really?
I know she doesn't really like me talking about this, but
God damn.
here's the thing: anything that you do that's different.
When did that happen?
It was I don't know, a couple months ago.
To be
Oh,
fair, I think
wow.
the foster system is probably worse than eating raw liver. I'll admit that.
Foster.
Yeah.
Wow. So this happened a few months ago. So they actually came and checked up on the family and everything.
Yeah. But because
Whoa.
somebody reported that we made our kids drink blood when we were with the Maasai, and so they interviewed them. Did your parents make you drink blood? And then our boy said, "We're with the Maasai. If the Maasai are drinking blood and they offer you blood, you drink blood. Do your parents make you cold plunge in this 34-degree water?" No, we choose to do it.
So are they liver princes? Is that what it is?
I would never use that word. I call them savage liver boys.
Okay.
You don't like the word prince?
You know what? I don't even know what it is.
Right.
But I call we have Stryker the Barbarian.
Well, a prince is the son of a king.
Thank you for teaching
Well,
me that.
you said you didn't know what it was.
I
so.
think he knows.
Like literally, But yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, here's the thing: they're forging their own path. Right? Somebody asked the other day if they asked them, "Do you want to be like Liver King one day?" And they started to answer that question. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to answer this. If they turn out to be like me, we'll have catastrophically failed, right? Like they're going to be so much better, and this is how it should be, right? If you do your job as a parent, your child is so much better than you. And so whatever path by default, if I even call them princes, and now they're in line to be the king, fuck all that. That's why I'm like, I don't even like that name. I don't like that connotation. Thank you for defining what a
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, no, you're
Liver King
welcome.
said abolish the monarchy.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Bold.
Well, sometimes the princes come for the dad's head because they want to rule, and we can't be having that.
I've already told my kids, you're going to have to fight me to the fucking death, man. And that's why I work out twice a day and train the way that I do, because bring it fucking...
They're going to be big, strong.
Well,
Yeah,
dudes
they
at
have a
this
head
rate.
start on you. So.
that's what I've been saying. And now Stryker's, he's so much bigger than me. I mean,
Really?
Well, he's a lot taller than me.
Oh.
How tall is he?
I would say he's 5'10".
How old is he?
He just turned 16.
Oh, he's got ways to go.
Yeah, he's gonna
still.
keep growing,
Oh
huh?
shit, he's gonna go even. He's
But
gonna be
even his
6'2".
jujitsu is so sharp. And when we first started rolling, I manhandled him. I let him have it, And but every day he's getting better.
He can beat you, and
Well, now he chokes me out.
Whoa.
But I'm like, but
Really?
I have to go like 100% now.
Wow.
Before I would go like 80%. Like now, I gotta go.
that's pretty cool, huh?
It
To
is
see your
cool.
kid develop like that.
It is. It's really cool. But it's cooler to see them have such respect for themselves and other people that they would never misuse that.
So when CPS came, what was it like? Was it shocking when they showed up? Did you know they were showing up? How many people showed up?
It was one lady. They had been trying to get in touch with us, and I really don't mess around. I'm great at focusing at what I need to focus on.
Yeah.
So immediately we got like a letter or a phone call or something like that, and I immediately just gave it to our attorney. And our attorney said,
Yeah, smart.
Hey, get used to it. This is going to happen. Now you're in the public eye. Get used to it. Let's develop a protocol. We got this system. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to welcome them in. Here's how we're going to do this thing.
Okay.
And share everything, because you have absolutely nothing to hide.
Yeah.
So they came in and they interviewed us all together, and then they interviewed us individually. And so they asked them these questions.
Wow.
Do your parents make you eat testicles?
Yeah.
Right? Because the accusations were of that sort. Your parents forced you to eat testicles, forced you to drink blood, forced you to get in 34-degree temperature water for this long, and forced you to work out and do these things. So they interviewed everybody, asked these things. And for me, my wife was actually a little bit pissed off. She's like, you call this child abuse?
Yeah.
Do you understand, when you feed your kids this fast food, I need to call child abuse when you let your kids play video games all day long and sedate themselves and not have this kind of interaction.
Sure. That's interesting.
She was
Yeah.
mad. And I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, like we don't need to be mad.
Was this a little bit scary or anxious knowing that this person has the power to remove the children from your
Not at
family? I
all.
mean, that's crazy, right?
You know what? I don't know. Would you say you were worried at all?
I mean, it's scary. You were upset. She said she was upset.
But here's the thing. Like I had 0 ounce of concern whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because of the love that we have.
Yeah.
And because once you start to and once you come over, and here's the thing, the interviewer she knew after about 2 seconds this whole thing was a joke, was a shit. And she even said, she's like, I still got to do my job.
Yeah.
I still got to do this thing. You know, I get it. And at the end of the day, this is what I know. The person that actually reported us to CPS, they're well intentioned. They actually really think that we're creating harm, you know, and this is the world that we live in. Right. And so the way I see it is this person actually probably needs the most help. And so there's no resistance to that. There's no hurt or hate or pushback or revenge or anything like that. You know, I figure like we got to point our energy at productive things.
Okay.
But not for a second did I think, oh, you're going to take my kids from me.
Wow.
You know,
it's scary though. Just but yeah, I'm sorry you guys went through that. But you know,
What was that?
I have no clue.
That was the.
That was the penis.
It sucked it back in, bro.
What the fuck?
It's fresh again.
That's a Primal jar sound, by the way.
It is literally this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It's sucking in and out. That penis is breathing, liver.
It's
I gotta
shooting a load.
pee again.
Shooting a
I've been
load.
drinking so much coffee. I gotta pee again. I'll be back.
Yeah, so
And we sell prostate. I'm gonna send you a bottle of Ancestral Supplements prostate.
so is there any other kind of unexpected consequence of your newfound fame? Or I don't know how newfound it is, but I think in the recent past year, you've really exploded. Has there been any other unforeseen consequence
It was really
of that?
wild. It has been. It's been exciting as hell. It's been an adventure. As you know, it was about a year ago when you guys reached out, Impulsive reached out, the Full Send Nelk Boys, and Joe. It was like all at one time.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere. And we never had a social media account. No Facebook, no MySpace, nothing. And so one day we said, hey, if we're going to take this message mainstream, this is what we got to do. We've had enough visitors come over to say, you got to put yourself on social media. I'm like, why would I do that? I live a pretty good life. Why would I want to do that? And they said, listen, because you don't have to change anything. This is passive income, right? You just live your life and we'll passively record what you do. And I said, okay, well, hey, fuck it, we'll try it.
You're really good at it, though. You're a showman. Did you know that about yourself? You're like a natural entertainer and showman. Like everything you do is so theatrical or just like you're really good on the camera. You disagree? You don't know that about yourself?
You know what I know is that I never wanted to get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Again, I loved the life that I had before that, and the thought of doing what we're doing right now was crippling. I'd never wanted to invite any of this stuff.
Interesting, yeah.
So for you to say, hey, you're a showman, I'll tell you.
You are.
When I
You're
first
really
started
good
going
at
on,
it.
thank you for saying so.
Yeah, no.
I'll say I've sharpened that sword, and I hope when we do part 2, it'll be like, hey man, this was even more valuable. You know, this exchange. So I'll say any other unintended consequences. It's a little bit tough. We can't just go for a walk.
Sure.
It's wild. You can't. You literally just can't.
You're very unique looking. You don't wear a shirt.
It's a problem.
You stick out. You know.
It's a problem. And then you know what I recently have started to do, because I just want to hang out with my family. You know. And so what we do. So now when we'll go to a fight, because this is what we want to go do. We want to go to a fight, right? We go to fights, and then we'll stay for all the camera guys leave. We stay for a day or two just to do family stuff. All I want to do is be with my family. And then it's, hey, Liver King, picture. And then it's nonstop, unintended consequence, absolutely. Is it validation that this message is getting out? And then I bring the Liver Boys in, and then I have the Liver Boys start talking to girls, right? I'm like, all of this is going to be a lesson, and we're all going to get even more value out of this.
You don't want to put a pump cover on and just go incognito every now and
So
then?
this is what I do. I put on this shirt. This is my
shirt.
disguise, and a hoodie. It's a hoodie and a shirt.
It probably helps a lot, right?
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
But what's wild is it happens. Is it still happens.
Yeah.
And then 1 or 2 people start to line up, and then they start talking. The other people don't even know who it is. You know, people start to line up just because they see people taking pictures. So then I say to them, do you even know who I am?
Yeah.
And if you have no idea, hey, guess what? I'm just going to be with my family today.
Yeah.
If you know that it's the liver guy, or some people say the liver god. Or, you know,
Liver god? Yeah, that's appropriate.
We start cracking up, you know, hey, it's the liver king because liver is king. If you don't remember anything else from this 5-second interaction, the name is Liver King because liver is king. Eat liver. Get that in your life. It'll change your life. And so we'll take a picture. Don't forget this interaction. We were meant. And so I'll embrace that.
Yeah.
Unintended consequence, that's probably the biggest one.
I see. Yeah, that's a big deal. But this explosion of fame on social media has probably been extremely good for your business, eh?
I don't know. I have quite a few businesses, and so all I knew is this: I'm gonna go on social media to be the CEO of the Ancestral Lifestyle. I formed a new company. It's the Liver King Company. All we focus on is getting the best message out. So the way that we measure value, right, and I think that we can agree that the value that we create in the world is people pay for value with time, money, or both. Right, and so if we can improve our impressions and improve followership, if we can start to figure out that the message is getting out, if we can go out in public and people are like, hey, Liver King, it's like, guess what? We're doing our job. And so we get about 250 million impressions a month now.
What, on TikTok?
Across platforms.
Across platforms? That's a lot. That's a lot of...
Yeah. And I don't know what you'd pay for that if you were trying to pay for that with
a lot.
pay-per-clicks.
You can't really pay for that because like native when it's happening organically, it's entirely different.
It's more valuable.
It's way more valuable than just like paying for it.
So you were independently wealthy before the whole supplement thing started? Is the supplement a new business?
Dude, have you not heard about how I made my money?
No, I haven't.
How'd you make your money?
You really don't, because people
I want to
think
get
it's the funniest thing.
But I want to get the timeline right. So were you, when your kids got sick, were you already wealthy by then? What were you doing at the time?
I don't know if you would call it. When we met, we were both pretty high revenue earners. We were making about $500,000-$600,000 a year when we met.
What were you guys doing?
My wife was
In
a
Texas
dentist
too, so it's like that, it goes a long way, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible. What were you doing?
I was into device sales at the time.
Okay.
Medical device sales.
Medical device?
What I
Okay.
was into.
So you have you're an MD? Whoa, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I have to use myself.
Smart.
Drink a lot of blood. I have to use the restroom. Be right back.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Smart lady.
Because she chose me?
That's the pound. Yeah.
But you know what? I hopefully we'll talk about this later, but we attract our complementary opposite in life. Right? This is what I believe. And so when we met, we were doing pretty well for ourselves. And then we immediately said, well, let's get into business. She was working for another dentist. She goes, hey, I don't want to do that no more. Let's start a business. So we started a business. We bought a practice. And then I saw how much we were outsourcing. We were sending millions of dollars of revenue by referring people out. I said, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to bring all that in-house. We're sending millions of dollars to dental labs. Guess what? We're not doing that. We're starting a dental lab.
So when someone would come and they needed like a gum surgery, you would refer them to a gum specialist, right?
When we first started.
And so you say, well, let's hire the gum specialist.
Everybody came in-house. We had every discipline of dentistry in-house.
Wow.
If somebody needed oral surgery, guess what you had to do? You had to send them out to an imaging center.
Yeah.
So now we're buying a CAT scan machine. Now we're buying, now we open up an imaging center. So we have this comprehensive center of dentistry.
Wow.
The continuity of care was uncompromising.
Vertical integration.
It was vertically integrated. And again, but the coolest thing is the quality of care went through the roof. I can't tell you how many times she would send someone out to the oral surgeon. Oral surgeon would send them back. They're pointing the finger. Ain't nobody can find
There's
the
no good
radiograph.
communication.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Now it's under one roof. Guess what? Accountability is right here.
So are you guys still in that business?
No.
Oh, you probably sold that
that's ancient
business.
history. What she said, and so I would say about 2 or 3 years after we got married, we had kids right away. So what we figured out is our kids are sick, and then we got our kids healthy. And then what ends up happening in this business is she realizes, guess what? I'm not really helping people. I'm kind of putting Band-Aids on things. We really need to counsel them in nutrition. Guess what? You go to your dentist with a cavity or you need a crown, you think you want your dentist to tell you, go eat liver, bone marrow, egg yolks, get some sun?
Yeah.
You're going to think she's fucking crazy.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it's the difference between trying to tackle the symptoms and trying to fix the underlying cause.
The root cause?
This is something that I also agree with. People get mad at me when I say this, but like, this is why I value physical therapy over pain management, because in America, especially, what people are focused on doing as a consequence of all the pharma lobbying and all the money that is like put into specific industries is just to engage in pain management. But if you don't actually tackle, like if you have an injury or if you have some kind of hypertrophy or some kind of like
I gotta pee.
Imbalance,
I'm dying.
everybody's peeing. If you have some kind of imbalance,
Just pee in your
that
pants,
is going to is that primal?
I would say that's pretty goddamn primal.
Yeah, peeing in your pants.
I mean, I hardly use the toilet. I go outside.
So wait,
I use
hold
my
on.
favorite
So we
treat.
got eating dick, eating balls, peeing in your pants. Those are the primal.
I mean, how weird is it? You go over to that bucket over there, you know, and you go put.
I think it's pretty. I will admit, sewage systems and clean water, pretty fucking good. As far as
you like it.
As far as like advancements of humanity.
Have you ever taken a shit outside in the woods?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel?
Fucking awful.
Awful.
Awful because I did a 21-day survival training camp.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it was leave no trace principled. So it was literally like we didn't even have toilet paper. For those of you who don't know, the Canadian maple tree leaf is one of the best for wiping your ass when you're in the wild and you don't have toilet paper because it's got like high surface.
What did you eat
area.
over the 21 days?
We had a lot of like MRE style stuff. Like we didn't hunt or anything like that. Yeah. So it was terrible.
But I'll tell you, if you took out all of the fiber, you take one crispy royal shit.
I've heard you say this. I wanted to ask you about this.
And guess you don't need to wipe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm a bidet boy. I grew up in Turkey and on that side of the world, we all have bidets. Like every toilet has a bidet in it. Unless it's one of those.
Have you seen the fancy hotel you guys put me up? Have you seen those Japanese toilets? They sense when you're coming close. The lid starts opening. I rip it off every time because that lid ain't ready for me. Tell her. She'll tell you. She walks into the bathroom. I don't care how much. They're going to bill you guys for the damage.
No.
You will never, ever come into my suite. I rip the lid off every time.
You've never had the butthole pleasures of a bidet? It's excellent. And it's
to each their own. You like butthole pleasures? Good on you.
People use that in the other. People use that in other sides of the planet and have been using it for centuries. I highly recommend it. That is one thing. If you're the evangelist if you're the evangelist of liver, I'm the bidet guy.
I love it.
I'm the bidet king.
All right. But to your point, there's something to say about treating the root cause. You got to treat the symptom, the acute medicine. But how fucking dare you to not address the root cause?
Yeah, right? No, I think that's bad. That's why I believe in, I value physical therapy a lot more, I would say, than pain management. Because like if you don't fix the imbalance, or if you don't do the proper exercises to ensure that you have muscles that are supposed to be there working against the other muscles that are overdeveloped, you're always going to keep running into that same injury over and over again. And a lot of people, instead of trying to fix that injury, will immediately go to the pain management route. Yeah. And I don't like that. I think like fixing the root cause is important. So I agree with you, even though that is a much more comprehensive and over the course of many years type of solution. So making good choices, making healthy choices, developing healthy habits is something I'm totally on board with.
So this is what happens in dentistry is like from a holistic approach, he's like, okay, we're going to help people holistically with nutrition and with the treatments. And we did that for a little while. And then she said, hey, guess what? I'm done. Because we've outsourced our most important job, raising our kids. Our kids are gone 8 hours a day. She lives when it's dark out. She comes home when it's dark out.
Yeah.
She would actually drive home to a park to cry so we wouldn't see her. And then she would come home. So we didn't see her cry. And after doing that enough times, she goes, I'm done. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she goes, no, I'm done. I'm never doing dentistry again. I'm like, you realize that we bought this building. It's like $5 million. Are you sure we're done? Because she's like, no, I'm done. And you know what that does to me? Like at first, I'm like,
you're like, I'm about to sell some way more medical supplies that are about to be sold.
Well, at this point, I'm I'm all in as an entrepreneur for a couple of years at this point. But what I end up doing is I figure this out, and this is why I always say that your woman needs to know that your man can protect you in a dark alley. And then people call me chauvinist because they think it's about physical strength. And I'm talking about the figurative strength here, right? We talked about the literal and figurative implication here because guess what? The financial crisis is coming, and it came, right? The medical crisis, these are coming, right? Crisis will happen in life. This is life. Your woman needs to know that your man is going to fight, that you're going to claw your way through any problem that you find yourself in. And so this is what it does to me. Like, this is another rite of passage. I got to figure this out. And so I figured it out, right? And so I want you guys to know how I really made my money. And so I hold 14 patents on a fitness device, and I still collect royalties to this day. Surprisingly,
what's the fitness device?
Have you guys heard of the shake weight?
No, you're fucking with me.
Shake weight patent
holder?
You're
fucking with me.
Google it.
Shut the
fuck up. Someone fact check that.
Yeah.
No way.
You're fucking
You
with
invented
me.
the shake weight?
I'm so glad. You know what? This is all completely made up. I didn't. The shake weight's made up. But everything else I said was true.
Nice, dude.
I knew it. I was like, I don't see you using any shake weight.
But here's the thing. You guys, okay, just for the record, you said you wanted me to come on and say I was a CPA and that's how I made my money. So I'm like, how do I compete?
Wait, is
I
that
didn't
what
say that.
Oh, pull that shit up then. You said, and wouldn't it be really funny if he came on and we found out he made his money? He's like a fucking CPA or something.
That probably was me.
Just
I
a
say
joke.
CPA. I use
Of
CPA
course
as
it was a
all
joke,
the
but
time.
I laughed so hard and I said, how do I compete with that? Oh, here's what
The
invented
they
shake
what
weight.
they
Yeah,
might
no,
look-
that was good. That was
Listen,
good.
everything I said prior to that 100% is on point. And so what I end up doing is
Have you
I
ever
start
used the shake
supplementing.
weight?
Oh, I love it.
We have one here.
No, you don't, really?
Wait,
Yeah,
so
we-
hold on, you guys. So how
Oh,
much?
shit, she does have the shake weight.
Yeah, is Liver King? Does it have copyright Liver King on it? Here, let's see Liver King.
I've
Let me
never,
see you
I've
shake
never
that.
used
I'm
the
not
shake
touching
weight.
Really?
that.
I've never used the shake weight.
Okay, you can use it.
Wait, let me try.
I wonder
never
how many
used
shake
one
weights we're
before.
going to sell from this
So
episode.
what is it like?
You just jack it off, baby. Two hands.
Is it like forearm? I mean, I guess it like works your.
Let's see you work that thing, Liver.
Listen, we've already sold it. We better get some royalties from the shake weight now.
Yeah. So, but you guys were hugely invested in this dental practice. How many employees did you guys have?
30.
You had 30 employees, and these are doctors, specialists. So that's a huge bill.
Yeah, so now it's time to sell. It's time to really
You guys-
mitigate the damage.
You sold the business.
Yeah, we probably about broke even. But when I say
Okay.
we broke even, at the end of it, we still walked away with a $6 million building, right? Which we still own today, which we still rent out.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And that's great. So we knew that we would be okay forever just on that. But
Liver
again,
landlord, commercial real estate.
but the big thing there was like, okay, I started writing a book, and the book sort of parlayed into the first nutrition supplement. And I wrote a thesis on chemical compositions and the biochemical processes of human nutrition. It's like, okay, I know something about this. And then it's specialized in the sports supplements. So didn't it make maybe a little sense that maybe I would get into supplements? And so I figured out, okay, here's how we rescued our kids. And then here's how we really got them to thrive. By taking off the sunblock, by taking off the shirts, by taking off the shoes, connecting to the earth, right? Comfort's not good for the organism. Creating this resistance in their lives where we can develop these adaptations of strength where we can express more, right? Putting down the phone, talking about these things, bonding with each other. I'm like, okay, when you figure out that this is how you can get your kids healthy, you understand this is your obligation in life. What kind of piece of shit would I be if I didn't share this message with the world?
Of course, sure.
So I started writing this book on that, and I said, you know what I'm going to do to get more traction is I'm going to start a company that sells these 9 ancestral tenets. And you come to my company with high blood pressure, how much you want to bet? My product expert is going to tell you what you need to do is take off your shirt, get some midday sun, take off your shoes, connect with the earth. These are evidence-based ways to lower your blood pressure. And they're thinking, the customer's thinking, what are you going to sell me on? What am I going to buy? If you unequivocally take care of people and they see the benefit from it, they're a customer for life.
But so it seems that you guys are pretty comfortable. I mean, you
We're doing
chartered a private jet, or
Wait,
well,
what?
it was us or you or somebody.
Wait, are
But
you joking or serious?
I'm dead serious. And then, but obviously you guys
you
are
guys
doing well.
paid for the
no,
jet,
we
right?
paid. Yeah, we paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
So
like, oh my god, because that's why I said
That
it
was
was
really
a 3
expensive.
in the video because because somebody sent it, and actually
You just get on it.
There's this other really big podcast that we're doing, and I thought it was them who paid for it all, and I was like, you know,
they don't have money like we do.
I was gonna be such an asshole
Yeah.
if I got that wrong.
I'm
but
stacked.
here's the deal, we
So
from
did
a financial standpoint,
you
we're
made
taking
your
it.
big bucks from these guys here?
The financial transaction, the value happens with these 9 ancestral tenets, right? The financial transaction takes place when you buy the supplements from Ancestral Supplements or
So-
from Heart and Soil or from thefittest.com.
So how did you start find clients? Because you were a dentist, you weren't Liver King at the time. So how did you start selling this stuff?
People pay for value, right?
No, but how do you find the people? That's got to be a hard part of starting a business, right?
I think you went viral first, and then you started.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're completely incorrect about
Seems
that.
you were way
I just
before.
went viral. We started
Yeah.
this in 2016. So in 2016, we started this. By 2017, we did 7 million just with one company.
How? How do you find the
No,
people?
how did people find
Yeah.
out about Liver King or the
I'm
Liver
telling
Subs?
you.
How'd they find him?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I made a website. It was called ancestralsupplements.com. I did it myself, ground up. I did it like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, and then it resonated. People would start searching articles. How do I fix my high blood pressure? They read the article. Oh, you take off your shoes, you get sun.
So were you guys doing like SEO, PPC? Were you buying ads?
Yeah,
stuff
people
like
talk
that?
about all this fancy shit. You know, at the end of the day, when you provide real empirical value, people pay for that shit. You can call it
So
SEO.
so you're saying it was a
I didn't do
if
any of the
you
bells and
build it, they will come situation.
That's right. That's right. And so we doubled in revenue, and now we're doing $100 million a year across
Wow.
three companies. And we're just
Jesus
getting started.
Christ, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, no wonder y'all. Damn. Okay. Pays a little bit better than dentistry, doesn't it? Yeah.
But again, at the end of the day, what's happening is we talked about this from the beginning. People really are hurting. A lot of people hate the lives that they're living in. People are suffering with such desperate chronic conditions. They know they're meant for more. They don't know how to achieve more. I got this really simple, elegant solution. I call it ancestral living, right? You can start doing these things today, and it will change your life tomorrow. And most of it costs nothing. So this is what we're championing in the world. We just went on social media a year ago. And how has that impacted my
That's got to have been
businesses?
huge on your businesses. Come on, be real.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
I mean, you say you make 100 million this year, but how much were you making before you went
Yeah.
viral?
So we grow by about 30 to 40%. Every company grows by about that percent every year. We're still on track to do that. No better, no worse. And you know how much promotion and
shot.
plug-in we do. Today we had some fun. I'm so glad we talked about ancestral supplements because you know what's happening is we've gone so deep in the red with Liver King that my CFO, we have a centralized CFO.
Oh,
my CFO goes, hey man, maybe you think about paying for one of your trips.
Yeah, there
Maybe
you
pay
go.
for one of your trips. And I've always said, you know what? If it doesn't make sense, I'm not talking about it, right? But if we're eating liver, bone marrow, and testicle, and I believe in my heart of hearts, and I know this to be true, you got to get this stuff into your diet. If you're not going to do this, this is a great alternative.
It seems like high quality stuff. You know, New Zealand grass-fed liver. There it is. Boom.
It's the highest quality.
Yeah. I want to ask you a few questions, and I've got some games I want us to play. Do you have a heart out, or you're all here for us?
It's up to John's managing my schedule, so he'll.
John, what's the schedule? What's that? Well, Hassan.
Yeah,
It's Liver King.
Yeah,
You're not gonna bail for
I'll
liver.
make time. It's fine.
Yeah. You guys are good till how long? You only have 15 minutes?
Wait, that is a hard out, man. That's
That's
a
a-
15.
that's
No, I know, but I
Don't
can-
worry
I
about
can-
him.
don't
What's
worry
your
about
hard
me.
out?
I'll stay.
Okay, you're good. 15 minutes? I need way more time with liver than that. So, do you own a shirt?
I own shirts.
You do own shirts.
I mean,
And
right now it's my costume, but here's the thing: I don't go to stores. If the hotel says put on a shirt, I don't fucking go to the hotel, right? And I got a whole team that arrives the day before, right? They've discussed all this. If Liver King needs to put a shirt on, guess what? He's not putting a shirt on. We're not staying here.
Wow, that's commitment. So you do not wear a shirt, straight up, period.
I want to be as accurate as I can about this. If I'm going out in public, I want to spend time with my family. I put on a shirt. I put on.
Put on the hoodie for incognito.
Otherwise, I'm not wearing a shirt. Even if
cover.
it's in the dead of winter, you're going to see me in New York. You're going to see me all over the place.
Does cold affect you?
Of course, it affects me.
Yeah.
But that's what I love. It hurts like crazy. Again, comfort's not good for the organism. And then you know how it feels. When's the last time you were so goddamn fucking cold that it hurt you to the bone? And then you knew what it felt to really be warm.
Was there ever a moment where you're like, I got to put on a jacket?
Answer my
now"?
question first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I used to live in New York for a year. Yeah, it gets really cold there.
And do you remember how good it felt to warm up?
Yeah, it's great.
And the same thing goes with hunger. When's the last time you were so
Never.
hungry?
You were
So
so
hungry.
Just being
quick.
real.
And
You were
then
so quick.
so grateful to receive that nourishment, which provides that same feeling of warmth. Right? And so, do I ever put on a jacket? There are times I put on a jacket.
Okay, interesting.
And this
I
is
fast-
when
I fasted for sure. I get what you're saying about that.
it's an incredible feeling, and the
Yeah.
gratitude and the way it changes you, biochemically, physiologically, into the future. It's like there's so much incredible value. So once I'm starting to become hypothermic, listen, I'm not going to die to prove a point.
Yeah, okay, I see. So you believe in jackets.
Yeah, but like, when do I need a jacket? In the United States, I don't need.
Well,
a
you live in
jacket.
Texas, right? So it's pretty warm.
Yeah, but we
there.
go to New York
Yeah.
in the wintertime. You won't ever see me wearing a jacket, right? I mean, if I'm in Mongolia or the Arctic and it's 10 below,
We're going to wear a jacket.
you're going to see me without a jacket, and then you're going to see me with a jacket.
How many shirts do you own?
I have hunting shirts.
Okay,
I
you-
probably have about a dozen.
A dozen shirts.
And
that's not a lot.
They're already packed. Well, you know what I actually have? You should see my closet. Fuck. Why haven't y'all posted the closet video?
Get on it, guys. You're fucking slacking.
You go into my closet, you'll see no shirts hanging up. No shirts whatsoever. You're gonna see about 100 pairs of shorts.
The short.
You're
I
gonna-
love
you're
that.
gonna have red
Yo,
shorts.
I'm a short. fan.
You're gonna have
I love that.
red
What's
shorts,
your brand?
green
What-
shorts, Liver King.
Oh, you have your own shorts brand?
And
Oh
they're-
my god.
Well, I don't sell them. I don't sell them. We just had them made because
Why
I
not?
wanted 100%
Can I take a look at your? Because
native material. Look,
I'm a fan of.
there's
Yeah.
my Liver King right here. You got the Liver King logo in the
Is
back.
that fleece?
No, bro. It's just 100% cotton.
Oh wow, those
Yeah.
look nice.
Thank you.
You should
Thank
sell
you.
those.
Okay. Well, somebody get on selling them. But that's the deal. So I own a couple of shirts. I just I don't like to wear the shirt because I didn't wear the shirt before social.
Let me ask you a question. Do you ever get embarrassed walking with him shirtless? Never. Yeah, she's a good one. You guys are meant to be together.
You think so? Because I would have expected her to say, not only never, but I'm so goddamn proud
you didn't
of the value that
enough.
he expresses in the world, and that I'm his complimentary opposite. Why did you not say any of that?
She said never, Liver.
No.
That's good. What about the kids? I mean, the kids have got to be like, Dad, put on a shirt.
Probably a little bit, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Like, I think sometimes, like I go to Burger King and I pick a fight with Burger King. And I'm having a blast. I'm like, hey, the Liver King is here.
You kind of look like the Burger King guy, right?
Wait, what?
The
Hold on.
King.
Wait, he's right.
Edit all that shit out.
I'm sorry, but he's
Pull
right.
Pull him up.
Yeah, I'm
Tell
going
me.
to.
Oh
You
my
pull up
God.
his six-pack. Pull up his six-pack right now. The only thing that might look the same, I would say, is the crown.
I got to say,
Bro.
Oh, maybe the beard.
That's what I'm saying.
Burger King's Primal.
What if he's the same guy?
I think they need to pay your ass royalties.
Well,
Burger King is terrible, though. I hate the Whopper.
So if I go in there picking a fight with Burger King to prove a point, I think they're a little embarrassed, but they also have fun.
They're like, Dad's doing it again. He's
Here's the
fighting
thing,
Burger King.
When I was their age, there ain't no way I would do anything like that. I mean, I was such an introvert, and I didn't really connect with the outside world, and I had a tough upbringing at that time.
Would you say sales opened you up a lot because it forces you to be more extroverted?
You know what opened me up a whole lot was around 15, I found a group of guys that took me in. And those guys that took me in, I call them the OG crew. I'm infinitely grateful
You
for
friends
them.
with them still?
Oh, I love them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We just had to get together at Liver King Ranch. And what ended up happening, it was like, hey, let's go talk to those girls, right? And that's what your peer group does. We go talk to those girls and we realize, okay, as a group, that was intimidating. So from now on, it's one at a time. One guy's going to go up to 3 or 4 girls, and we would just rotate, and we would get so many reps in. I would say that's when I started to kind of forge this. At first, it was horrific, right? And then with enough failures and enough reps, you start to sharpen that skill, and you learn you're not a complete idiot.
I've described overcoming social anxiety in identical terms. It is like a muscle. You're right.
I love that. And so now I'm at the gas station. My wife probably hated me at first when we met because at the gas station,
Was it awkward?
anywhere we went, she called me diarrhea mouth. I didn't know when to stop. On the elevator, on the gondola. It's like that's how I was programmed. This is what we did. Again, like what I had come from, and this was like my workout. So I would say that probably helped me a lot.
Does he have a pet peeve? Is there something about him where you're like, tone it down a little bit, Liver King? No,
I would say I might be vulgar in front of my kids and their friends.
I see.
Right? At first she would be like, "Hey, maybe you cuss too much in front of like you're calling their friends a pussy." and they're 6 years old. But
Eat this liver, pussy.
But let me tell you the life lesson.
No Cheez-Its for you, pussy.
and then here's what the kid does. The kid goes, "But I'm not a pussy." Right? And I'm like, oh, this is where you fucked up, right? Just go with it, right? Because when somebody makes fun of you, here's what you better do. You better have the best comeback in the world, which you don't. You're 6. I'm 45.
Yeah, what's he gonna say?
Right?
Yeah.
And so what you need to do is
He's not gonna turn around and be like, "I fucked your mom." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
6 years old.
Hey, so go with it. Go with it. Like, one of the guys had acne all over the face, right? And I'm like, hey, people are going to make fun of you for being a pizza face, right? And he goes, oh, I don't.
You said that to him?
He goes,
that was unnecessary.
He goes, I'm not a pizza. And I said, guess what? People are going to do this, and I'm going to give you a lesson right now. Because we're doing it out of love right now. We're getting in the reps. I'm calling everybody every name under the sun. Get thick skin. We're going to get the practice right now. Because if you guys don't have this locker room talk, guess what? In the world, you're going to compete. You're trying to pick up this girl. This other guy's calling you pizza face. And guess what? Now you're going to say, oh, no, hey, I'm not pizza face.
Have you ever had a parent complain to you?
I think maybe they might complain to the liver queen. They don't like to complain.
Any parent ever be like, yo, can you tone it down around the kids? Or any
other parents of children?
No, well, there you are. You're all good.
I want to say, like you got a call last week. I think people want to make sure all my guns are locked up.
That's fair.
They are.
Yeah, that's fair.
Normal.
Yeah. We do a lot of
What about the spears? Do you lock them up too? The machetes and whatnot?
No, but I did tell the kids. I lined up all the kids and I said, anybody who will let me take a machete to the forehead and draw blood, you get $100.
Okay, we need to call CPS.
So we do a lot of fun stuff like that, and then the kids go
Fun
home
stuff.
with a lot of money. The kids go home with like $500, and did
Wait,
you
so
get-
they do draw blood?
Well, I wanted to see who was brave enough to do it. Am I gonna put a machete to their head? And I said, hey guys, here's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna put the machete right there, right between the eyes. Boom, just like that. And then I'm gonna go like that. And whatever happens, as long as it draws blood, you get $100. And of course, I'm thinking, oh, everyone's gonna be scared out of their mind. I don't know if it was Paul or Evan Castillo, but one of them stepped up and one of them goes, I'll do it. And so I took, it was actually a massive Bowie knife, I don't know how you say it. I put it right on his head. He stayed firm. I said, make sure you brace yourself. I did the whole thing. The kid didn't move. I said, okay, you get $100
You didn't do it. You're
Of
just
course I
testing
didn't do it.
Yeah.
Of course I didn't do it.
That's
but-
crazy. Okay, they are not coming back. The parents, if they see this, they're gonna be like, "Evan, you're not going to that."
Oh,
house."
but they all come back and they all collect money and they all learn like the life lessons that we go through, you know. And of course, like here's the thing, like you know, to be able to go through this simulation in a safe place, but not really know how safe you are. You know, like I'll put the kids in a pool in the middle of winter, and I'll say anyone who can stay in the pool for 5 minutes, you get $200. Right, so everybody jumps in the pool, and now I really start to fuck with them. And now after about 2 minutes, it's cold, right? And it's, I say it's cold, but it's like 50, maybe 60. And I said, now, it's been 2 minutes, right? If you get out right now, I'm gonna give you your money. But if you can get in the cold plunge where it's 34 degrees, massively different, right? And they're already cold. I said, if you get in the cold plunge, I'll double it. And so here's the thing, anyone—
Kids are doing part-time work at your house, doing stunts.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. Here's the thing. One chose to do it. Nobody else did. And the longer you thought about it, the colder you were getting anyways. What you needed to do is you needed to act immediately. And so here's the lesson, right? Regret the things that you do, not the things you don't do. The knee-jerk reaction is, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Because guess what? You're gonna regret for the rest of your life that you didn't reach for her hand because somebody else did.
You didn't. You declined to do the shake with. You hesitated.
And I thought a lot about that.
That could have been the
life.
No,
That could have been.
listen, I can tell you for sure that I do not regret doing that. But I see the shake
How do you
weight,
know?
It's like handing me McDonald's. Am I going to eat McDonald's if you hand me McDonald's? No. Right? Anything that's so damn clearly subprimal.
I think you need to prove to us that your body is optimized to handle that poison.
Why do I need
By
to prove
eating
that
a-
to you?
Oh, I thought it's all about proving that you're. Well, I guess you don't have to prove anything to me, but
Well, I
to
like
yourself.
how you caught yourself. I like that. Oh, prove it to myself.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
yeah,
you-
that's what
you
you're
handle the
testing your
shake?
body.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you're testing your body, right? You're training your body. Let's get a Big Mac in there.
Oh, put a Big Mac. See if I can handle the poison.
Yeah,
Do you know how long that linoleic acid stays into your cell?
that's
I
the
was,
seed oil.
I was about to say, like,
Years.
I feel like he would die if he had like like normal food once after you
Years.
trained your
It stays in
body.
there for years.
But it's kind of like if you're always eating at home, if you always cook your own meals and then you go out and eat, like you'll feel so dried up from the amount of sodium that they put in like regular processed meats and
and
regular
also
food.
coats the roof of your mouth. There's something different about it, you know, and I know what it does to you biochemically. I'll push back from that.
So I want to go back. So basically,
Ethan is saying he's more primal for being able to take down frozen
yeah,
pizzas.
yeah.
and
My
you can't
body
even do it.
body is unbeatable.
Yeah.
I eat that shit all day.
Prove it. Let me see the six pack. Prove it.
No, it's underneath.
Oh, I know,
It's
I
underneath
know.
a
I'm
thick
just
layer.
fucking,
It's
I'm
underneath
just
a thick
fucking.
layer of frozen pizzas.
So you said you had a hard upbringing. What does that mean? What was it like, your relationship with your parents?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a dad growing up. He died before I knew him. I don't want to tell this whole sob story because I've told it a couple of times. But basically, from about 10 to 15, I just got the shit handed to me every day at school. I was the only
were
one of my
bullied.
kind. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, I just get clocked out,
Or what?
knocked out.
What would they bully you about?
Most of the time, I didn't even know. But this is really clear. I was the only one of my kind. I was the only white kid there. I was tiny. I was an easy target, you know, and I would just get punched. I would get knocked out. The bell would ring. I would wake up. I'd collect my books, and I'd go to class. And actually, the first day of school this happened. The very first day, Felix fucking Sanchez. I hope you're watching Felix Sanchez from San Antonio, from Pat Neff.
You grew up in Texas.
I did in San Antonio. Well, we kind of migrated from Air Force Base to Air Force Base because my dad was in the military. But here's what, and then I was probably 2 or 3 when he died.
Was it related to the military? His death?
It's complicated, actually. I don't want to get into that.
Okay, sure.
So what ends up happening is, this is just my middle school. I remember coming home saying, hey, listen, I'm never going back. I think a lot of people probably said that, hey, I'm never going back. But my mom didn't let me. She was like, hey, listen, I'm not even listening to this. This is not even an option. And from then on, I knew I could never tell her another story about what happened. And so I just took it, like every day I took it. And I remember coming home, just no self-worth, humiliated of this guy I would see in the mirror. I mean, I told you these horrific statistics about suicide. There's no fucking way that this is a real thing that I had contemplated. Like, why would I exist in a world like this? This was such a horrific world. And all I wanted to do was be like them. I said this yesterday on a podcast, like I didn't want to be in this body or look like this or have this color skin. All I wanted to do was be like these guys that were kicking everybody else's ass. I just wanted to be like these guys. So that's what it was for like 4 or 5 years. Just no self-worth, nothing. But I was working out at this time. And then I'll never forget, I was probably about 14 or so. And I was playing basketball on the court and somebody said, hey, you look like Marky Mark. And I lost it. I'm like, holy shit, like Marky Mark is like a stud. And then I started to realize about that time, I'm like, hey, you know what? I kind of do look like Marky Mark. I'm going to start taking my shirt off. And then other guys started giving me compliments, and other girls for the first time ever started looking at me.
Interesting.
It changed my whole life.
They were Myron.
You started your exercising journey around like
8.
8?
My mom's boyfriend gave me a bench. He was a pharmacist. I started using it.
8 years old?
I was 8 or 9. Yeah.
By the way, I have a picture of young Liver King.
Yeah, that's young Liver King at 15.
I mean, look at this. You ever seen a 15-year-old built like that? Where your arms don't even go down.
I think I was probably trying to make myself look bigger. But yeah, I mean, I looked okay. I wish somebody told me to do some more squats back then.
What do you mean you looked okay? You got good definition even in your quads for 15.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's.
But because this is the time when people were giving me those compliments, and that changed my life. That's when I figured out, like, I actually figured out my way out of this hellhole without a dad, without a mentor, with anybody to tell me what to do.
Fitness was your basically salvation from everything.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree to that. I had a similar experience as well. Both being bullied and everything. I was always fat. So once I was able to...
Growing up, you were fat? Like,
Yeah,
I know you were
really,
big.
No,
oh,
no,
wow.
I was really fat. Yeah. I always wanted to not be fat. I always wanted to have like these goals. Like I wanted to be able to dunk and I wanted to have a 6-pack.
Dunk.
Yeah. It was like it's silly shit. But when I was able to actually accomplish it, and I talk about this all the time, it gave me the confidence to be able to do whatever I want because I knew like, well, this was my main goal my entire life and I was able to achieve that. So now as long as I put my mind to it and as long as I put enough effort into it, I know I can accomplish whatever I want.
If you don't mind, I want to really put that into Liver King words because I like to talk about this because how many kids are going through what we both went through, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get these DMs every single day. I hate my life, Liver King, where do I start? And I say, start eating liver and start lifting heavy shit. Learn the barbarian, train the barbarian, become a barbarian. You guys know about this workout because here's what ends up happening is you become physically strong, but physical strength doesn't mean shit. It's about the process that got you there. When you realize that this active suffering, this is self-imposed, active suffering, active struggling, this relentless effort every day enables you to do something that you otherwise thought was possible. It's that process that you realize I can point that process at anything in life and I can achieve the highest level of success in all my roles and goals.
That's why I'm always trying to get him to go to the gym.
I started exercising, but I don't like lifting weights.
He says he doesn't feel good after he works out.
I do.
Understand.
I changed my routine and now I do.
Okay, good. Because like there's never been a moment in my life where I went and I worked out and I suffered through that, and then I felt worse afterwards. Every time I go and I punish myself in the gym, no matter how shitty I feel, no matter how shitty the weather conditions are, because we're working outside.
Yeah.
The moment that I'm done with that workout, I feel a sense of accomplishment across the board, and also, all the hormones.
When you have self-imposed resistance like that, we're wired to have that reward system.
Yeah.
Right. We're wired for that. This morning I thought about this because I thought, I want to be sharp for this. You guys paid all this money for me to be here, and I wanted there to be reciprocal value. And I thought, holy shit, like, what if I can't think today? I thought, I'm not going to do my workout this morning. I laid there in bed for a minute thinking, I'm going to skip my workout because I want to be at my best. Because I have really heavy deadlifts this morning, and that will tax your CNS, and then you're a bumbling moron.
Where are
right?
you working out? If you're working out,
I got
here?
this incredible machine called the Vitruvian. There's no professional relationship, but this Vitruvian, you could do 500-600 pound deadlifts. You could do 600 pound squats on it. Yeah, if you watch
And
my
you travel
story,
with that?
we travel
Oh my
with
goodness.
it. Yeah, and that's a nice thing when you send me the big jet. Boom,
Yeah, of
put
course.
in the Vitruvian.
Absolutely.
And
How heavy is it?
it's 100. It's only 100 pounds, but it has these motors. It has this technology. This is an
Oh,
amazing
I know
machine.
what it is.
Again, if
Yeah,
you just
I
watch
think
my
I've
story
seen it.
today, you're gonna see some really heavy deadlifts and squats on there. That's the machine. So, but here's the thing. I thought about that. I'm like, do I want to tax my CNS? And I thought I have to because this is what I do. And I might not be a 10 today on the podcast, but if I'm an 8.5,
You're 11.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
no,
over
this
the
is
top.
great. This is my favorite leftovers episode so far.
Yeah.
But again, you always
Even though
feel
I ate
great.
dick.
Yeah, I like that. But hey, to your point, like
You swallow, I spit.
Yeah.
When it comes to
but
cock.
when is
Bitters
the,
are quitters, man.
you guys are fucking crazy. I was on a podcast yesterday with all this like similar talk, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say about any of that stuff. But
Well,
here's
when
the
you
deal.
come with a big old fucking horse cock and start feeding people, you got to expect some dirty.
Yeah, I got to get
You brought
better
this
at
on
that.
yourself.
You're right.
Yeah.
I self-imposed.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like you don't get through a workout and say, oh, now I feel like shit. Right, about myself or physically. So I'm glad that you're figuring some of that stuff out. But how much you want to bet? Like we're going to take this one step at a time. We're going to start with liver and bone marrow.
Here it
We're
is.
going to stay in touch. We're going to get some sun in there.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to incrementally ratchet that thing up.
When did you start being no shirt?
Maybe 10 years. I don't know if
10 years ago?
Anywhere
Kyle?
from 8 to 12. Yeah.
Oh, you were no
No,
shirt
no,
from 10
8 to
years
12 years
old?
ago.
Oh, I was like,
yeah,
holy
He wasn't
shit.
like, he's not selling CPAP machines shirtless. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm just, but you know, so do you often go in stores and they ask you to leave and that's just part of your life?
I get that question a lot. I really don't go to stores. I mean, at Liver King
Other people
Ranch.
shop for you?
Well, like what do you need? Again, I don't wear
Yeah,
clothes.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
He doesn't really eat anything that you're, you know. you probably
all
get
of
from a
my
butcher.
food comes from Liver King Ranch or White Oak Pastures. Will help with that. It's like I mean, I'm so satiated from a social, emotional, physical, like what I
You
get
have
to eat.
everything you need.
So
He doesn't have any clothes. He's not buying clothes. Where's he going? What is the last time you
that's what
entered
I'm
a
trying
store?
to think. I'm trying to think. The last time I went into a store was actually have you guys heard, do you have Kroger out here?
Yeah.
I went there to make a video, but I don't grocery shop. In fact, my social media team, they're like, hey, let's go do a video of you grocery shopping. I'm like, I haven't grocery shopped in over a decade, in 15 years. I'm not going to go pretend that I do something because they had this great idea. I'm like, I am who I am. Passive income is what I call social. Record my life as I live it. Catch up, stay up with me, right? And so I recently went to a Kroger to do a video with, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Carnivore MD. His name's Paul Saladino.
Yeah, I know him.
The guy is just an encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went and we did something in there, but that was just for filming. So if you're asking me like when did I go to
Did
a
they
store?
ask you to leave or they didn't care?
You know what? This happens all the time. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. So we were at a Chick-fil-A getting filming. Like, hey, here's how you can order Primal sandwiches.
By the way, I eat Chick-fil-A all the fucking time. There's grilled chicken sandwiches. You know, there's certainly
You can eat
get,
Primal there?
Yeah, you can get. I mean, not Primal, like it's not raw, but
It doesn't have to be raw, but you know it
there's
doesn't have to be
grilled chicken-
subprimal.
There's grilled chicken nuggets. There's grilled chicken tenders.
So the grilled chicken is a Primal meal?
So grilled chicken, but listen, when I tell everybody, hey, listen, here's how you order Primal, and I'm going to give you $100 to order Primal for the next week. Lose the buns, double the chicken, right? And listen, if you really want to have those buns, because a lot of people do, what you got to do is 30 push-ups before you eat. That's all you got to do, right? So there's a primal way to eat and a subprimal way to eat and mitigate most of that damage. It's incredible what a glycogen sink we are. If we do just a little bit of exercise, we would have never just fallen across, oh my God, look at all these calories. We always worked for some calories. They call the cops on us, right? Hey, you better leave. You better leave. We're calling the cops.
Chick-fil-A called the police.
Yeah, but this happens a lot. So they'll call the cops, and you know what? You get the most views when the cops come. So like we're in the UK recently, and I'm trying
What
to
do
get.
you think? Was it because it was a bunch of shirtless dudes? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm going to tell you. It's so the
Chick-fil-A was like, none of that gay stuff. No shirtless men here.
that's true. They don't
That's
like
not-
gays.
that's not holy.
Yeah.
they feel like we're causing a commotion because
Yeah.
everyone's coming up to us wanting to take pictures. No one's ordering food, you know. And I guess for the couple of core customers that are there to eat, it's a spectacle.
Okay.
And so what ends up happening, the sheriff shows up. And so, again, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be like, conflict. And She goes, "Oh, hey, it's Liver King.
Oh, that's good.
Can I get a picture with you?"
Wow.
And I'm like, "Absolutely, let's take a picture." I mean, I can't start a fight with her now. And the same thing happens with the Queen's Guard. We went way before she passed away, just for the record, because some stupid shit showed up on social media.
Liver King was not there when the Queen died. Let's let that
You are
be
not
known.
a suspect, right?
No, this is here's what some people said on social media.
He did not go to Aberdeen in Scotland. That is a lie.
They said that we try to go and do some marketing ploy off of.
Right. You were there before.
We were there a month or two ahead of time, and so I'm going up to the guards and I'm saying, "The king is here. Let me in." And I got dumbbells and I'm curling, and I'm hoping, because I know they're pretty serious. I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna get views. They start laughing and they're like, "We know who you are, Liver King." I'm like, "Holy
funny.
shit! Like
You're
this
too
isn't
famous.
working anymore.
Yeah.
It's not working." So in terms of really going to a store,
They didn't know who I was. I'll tell you that much. When I was asking if the Queen is actually dead, way before I went a couple months before as well, they were not happy.
They weren't interested in
No,
that
the British people were
conversation.
not happy with me being like, the Queen might be dead. Actually, do you think she's a
Maybe
hologram?
clairvoyant, though.
Yeah.
well, what's wild, a lot of the guards ended up wanting pictures. I loved it. I mean, it is great. Queen, can you think of the last time that we legitimately went into a store? I'll tell you,
That's
I am
interesting.
watch shopping right now. And so
Okay, yeah, watch shop,
Like what?
classy
Like,
establishment.
what do you got right now? What do you got on?
I got a $20.
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna go with that, right? Or are
So
you
this
like
is
looking
why
for
I'm
a
watch
Roly?
shopping, because I want a watch to give to my kids. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have that right now. And you know what? I want a really cool watch also, because we're going to Dubai. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wear this cool watch. And so what ends up happening is, like, the watch guy comes to our house, and he opens up his bag and has a couple of watches. So the thing is, I know when I point myself at something, the value that I can create and I can get out of it. The minute you put me in a car, the minute you put me somewhere else, it's not worth it to me, right? So I will gladly pay a lawyer or a watch guy or anybody to come to me, right, so that I can focus on what I need
Right.
to focus on to create the
Well,
value.
expensive watch shopping, you don't really go to stores for that anyway. I don't think.
I have
Right.
I have question. Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any expensive.
Let me ask you this. I understand that you don't wipe your asshole. Is that true?
Most of the time, that's true.
Yeah. So I find that really interesting. Your shits are just really like clean,
They're clean. They're crispy.
crispy.
You know, and you know, listen.
Deep- lightly fried.
Are you supplementing with fiber though? You're not just eating
No,
meat.
I
right?
don't supplement with fiber.
no,
man.
this man,
Th-
he's Liver King, bro.
You just straight.
He
you
shits
only
liver.
Do
What do you
straight meat?
Wait, what are your
raw
shits
meat.
like?
Every once in a while, we'll have some guacamole, right? This is not part of my daily routine. Every once in a while, we'll have some fruit. This is every once in a while. Like, I don't have a lot of fruit.
You don't want to go crazy now with the fruit.
Well, here's the thing. Like, we have an orchard at Liver King Ranch. If a peach is growing, I'll grab it. Right? I'm not going out of my way to grow stuff or I'm sorry, to order stuff that isn't local or actually in season.
So
or
what do your
anything like
shits look like?
that. They're just perfect, man. I mean,
Just a nice log.
Have you ever taken
they're
a
a nice
photo
log.
of a nice one where you're like, this
Send
is
it to Queen.
well, here, send it to her. I should just leave it in there as a trophy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you could do that too.
But here's the thing. I mean, when you do it every day, you know what a perfect one feels like.
You don't even
I know,
wonder,
but you
and
gotta
also
still
you don't
wipe.
use soap, right? So like you could have shit in your ass right now.
Well, so that's why I'm like so if it doesn't feel the way that I know it's supposed to feel,
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'm gonna check.
Okay,
And
so you can sense when the shit was a little messy,
yeah.
and then you'll go in with the toilet paper, or do you have a bidet?
No, I'll go in with a toilet paper.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta try the bidet. I promise. It's gonna change
You
your
really are
life.
the bidet king.
That's
Yeah.
Subprimal, bro.
Yeah, no, bidets are excellent.
I have a bidet that dries my ass
Yeah, I got one recently put in by
Why
Ludwig.
would your ass be wet? Oh, from the bidet.
from the
the
water.
bidet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one as well. You don't need all that stuff. All you
like
need
it.
is like a regular one. You know what I mean? Just spray some water in there.
Okay,
and
what
it's
other
good.
questions? We
No,
got?
wait,
Let's
hold
go
on. I'm not
past the
done with
bidet.
this. So you shit, and then you have diarrhea sometimes.
I've had diarrhea before. It's like hardly ever. You know, like when we went to Africa. Holy.
You got
shit.
Was it from the water?
I don't know what it was from.
Probably.
But like after a couple of days, it's like black water.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
no,
then so
it-
you're
it is
using
from the water.
You're using you're wiping up in that situation.
Well, oh my God! Listen, you don't even wipe in that situation. You get in the
Just
shower.
move on, yeah.
I guess the equivalent of the bidet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's wiping gonna do?
And so you don't use soap, right? Well, you do take showers, but just to rinse off.
Yeah, we use well water. We get in the lake. We do a cold plunge. Every once in a while, so we have a bar of tallow, right? And that's like the original soap is tallow, right? Animal fat.
Just fat.
It's just fat, and that actually lathers up a little bit. I would never use that to. So everybody knows about the gut microbiome, right?
Everybody.
I mean, seriously, like
Yeah, I know,
it's a really important thing.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And did you know that we also have an oral microbiome?
Yes.
And we also have a skin microbiome. And every time that you use some sort of destructive detergent, you disrupt that skin microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that my skin looks better than yours, but what I am
Your
saying,
skin is beautiful. Liver.
Thank you.
Surprisingly.
But here's the thing. I don't
Why?
want to.
Because you're saying he's on steroids?
No, because he's fucking under the sun nonstop.
Well, he's got a nice little tan.
Well, the queen
That's-
too.
yeah.
That's what I'm
do you use
saying.
soap on your skin?
So you use facial creams and stuff? Okay.
But she doesn't
Okay,
use soap
okay.
on her body either to
Okay.
disrupt that skin microbiome.
Okay, and then let me ask you this: do you shave your pubes?
Why the fuck would you do that?
I'm just curious. Some
You don't
people
shave, you just
some
let it
people
ride?
groom. Some
your
people
pubes?
groom.
You're gonna shave your pubes?
Some people, a lot of
Yeah.
people groom. They want it to look good down there.
How new
always-
is that? You know, it's like people have.
oh, that's
hey,
that's old. That's been around.
you think people did that in the 20s, in the 50s?
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like the modern day manicured man is starting to do certain things today that make them look less like their primal wild first version self.
Yeah, but I'm fine with
I
that.
think the ladies
Hey,
like
hey,
a little. I'm not talking about the queen. I mean, you guys have your own thing.
think the ladies
but I
like
think
it?
the ladies like some trimming.
Well, are you in a relationship?
No.
Because for you, it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
But here's the deal. So you're hooking up with girls, you know, or whatever, every once in a while. If all guys are manicured like that, and you show up and you're not fucking manicured, guess what? This guy's different.
I don't know if that's a good.
This guy's
thing,
a
actually.
man. This guy smells different. This guy is fucking built different. This guy's different. You know, this guy's the most primal guy I've ever been with.
I look. Here's the thing. I don't really do too much now, but back in the day when I was more
You don't trim?
active, no. I trim.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not active, I trim.
gotta be ready.
I like the way it. I like the way it
Your dick
looks. I like the way
bigger.
it feels.
Yeah, your dick looks bigger.
I
and I need all the help I can get.
I just I'm a fan. I'm a fan regardless of like grooming. I think it's good.
I've never been to a primitive culture tribe where they give a fuck about grooming.
Okay, fair enough. And
And
so,
I just want to say, by the way, hair serves a functional purpose, right? And you just got to be thinking, what are you doing? To each their own. For the record, I shave no part of my body.
right. Okay. I understand you guys have to leave in 15 minutes, so I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire stuff.
Okay.
Do you Hassan? Do you want to smell him and see what's going on? Over
I
there?
already did. I mean,
Everybody
it's hard
can
not
smell
to.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Liver King is here.
You definitely have some. You have some BO. It's not as disruptive as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but
But you can definitely. I can definitely smell you.
Thank you.
And so,
Thank
do
you.
you use toothpaste?
No. Our early ancestors didn't brush, didn't floss,
brush?
didn't get cavities.
Do you brush?
I don't use toothpaste. I don't brush. I don't floss.
You don't even deal with the mouth.
And I don't get cavities.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you
I think I'm going to do a disservice to your listeners if I don't just at least tell them this. If you don't want to get cavities, get the fat-soluble system, right? You need vitamin A, D, K, and E. In other words, you need to eat liver, bone marrow, egg yolks, get sun.
It's a one-stop shop. Liver is just helping everything.
Oh, I know what I
Well,
want.
I know about this stuff, and you have to mechanically load the teeth. So if you're eating baby food, if you're eating stuff where you're not mechanically loading, then you're still going to have oral health issues. So you need to mechanically load, and you need that kind of nutrition. You're going to be good to go.
Liver King. Now, do you have to have sex in a certain position because you're so big, and sometimes fat guys have a problem. They have to go into a certain position because I mean you're massive, right? So and also I don't know how well endowed you are, but like, what's the situation with your what position do you have to go in a position? Or are you guys fully flexible? Because you're both very muscular.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Never talk about my wife in this context.
Oh, okay.
But with all seriousness, you
That's
know.
fair.
Damn, he's gonna
That's
kill you,
respectful.
dude. He just looked at you like.
Yeah, I don't talk about my sex life, you know, with the queen in that level of detail. What I'll tell you is this.
Cause y'all got that weird bed. Like that's not.
Oh.
Well, we have wooden planks, you know. But here's the thing: you don't
That's not.
you don't need a fucking bed to have sex.
Yeah, I
right?
wonder where would you do it if not on the bed and on the wooden planks? Just on the earth?
Anywhere and everywhere else. It's
Anywhere.
like, is that the only place you have bed? Sex. And if that's the only place you have sex, I feel sorry for you. But
Right.
I mean, especially if you have kids, because if you have kids, you got to be opportunistic.
You got to
right?
get it in real quick.
And
And also, your kids are homeschooled, so God, you know what I mean?
But I always say this: you earn the life and wife and sex life that you behold. And we attract our complementary opposites. And if you want to wake up next to a person that you love and you absolutely lust, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to her to
He's a
express your.
respectful king. That was very respectful.
But this is the deal. I want to get this message out because there's too many people. They get married, they get comfortable, and then they gain 5 pounds a year in perpetuity. And now they've been married for 10 years, and now they weigh 220 pounds each. And now you're less attracted to that person. And now you're looking outside of the marriage. You're looking outside of the relationship for what you deem to be sexy and lustworthy. You still love the person, but you don't wake up lusting that person.
Right.
And so I feel like you owe it to yourself, you owe it to her to express your highest and most dominant physical form. And guess what? She'll do the same. You pull each other forward in that ecosystem. And what a gift this is. This is not an incredible amount of work you have to do every day, right? You commit to 30 minutes a day, a couple of days a week, and you're going to produce such a physical specimen of yourself, and you're going to feel great. And guess what? She's your complementary opposite. She's going to look the same way. And imagine you get to wake up to the person that you know is a 10 every fucking day.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Are you into semen retention? You seem like a guy who'd be into that.
Why?
I don't know. You like to hold in all the vitamins.
How can you say I seem like a guy and I say why?
But
I don't know.
It's
There's
just
a
a
lot of-
vibe.
yeah.
You hold in, you got to keep all the nutrients. I guess the semen
No,
retention
no.
thing is about like, I hold on to the masculine energies and
It's just,
don't
there's
know.
a lot of bro science
Yeah,
out
it's bro.
there
But
on Instagram
but you
and
didn't
everywhere
answer.
else.
So I do things based out of first principle thinking and what our early ancestors did and what modern day
And they were
culture
not
tries
doing
to do.
semen retention.
There's not only is there no semen retention, right? There's no discussion of that kind of shit.
We don't
You know?
talk about it.
No,
How do you know they didn't talk about it?
You know what?
It's the
I
most
don't
fun
know
you
that.
can have with
Yeah.
yourself. Why? I'm sure the.
You think early man jerked off?
Are you kidding me?
I mean, what else are
dude?
they going to do?
They got no time. They have so much time in the day to fill.
So
I'd be
Here's what I'm
cranking
going to do.
nonstop.
On part 2, when we do this again,
Yeah.
I'm going to have I have a list of questions I ask these tribes. God forbid, I don't know what they're going to think of me.
Wait,
when
you're
I
going to
start
ask
asking.
them? Like,
I'm going to start asking them this question.
Oh, I'd love
times
to
do you
know.
jerk
How
off?
many times you
I'm
jerk
going to
off?
ask them
Yeah.
about jerking off and semen retention, and then I'm going to report back because this is not.
I'm sure they don't do semen retention.
well,
That's the
we
problem.
went on another podcast. It was Pardon My Take, and they asked this question. And
Someone asked you this
Hey,
already?
PFT, my man.
Who the fuck can
yeah,
answer? Who
it was
asked you
Billy
that?
Football.
Oh, it was Billy.
It was
Fo-
Billy Football. But those guys are giants, man. I love those guys.
Yeah.
In their respective fields. These are great guys. And so I'm like, you know what? This is the first time I ever heard about it. And I'm thinking, why and again, now you guys are asking. So now this is something that someone is trying
We
to
need
advance.
to look into it.
Let me look into it. Let me actually set the record straight.
Is masturbation allowed in the primal, to be primal? Is masturbating primal?
Well, to each their own. Here's what I'll
Yeah.
say about that. When you wake up next to your fucking 10,
You don't need it.
you wake up
What if
next
you're
to your
single primal?
10. If you're single primal, listen, I can't tell you from personal experience, right?
You don't jerk off.
I don't jerk off because I got a fucking 10 next to me.
Right. King.
But when you were single,
yeah, when you were, I mean.
you must have.
Of course.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
good.
If
there
you
you
don't
go.
jerk off when you're single, what the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with you?
you can't be going out
In
with
fact,
a loaded
I even
gun.
talked to my kids about this. I'm like, you guys better be doing that.
All right, hold on.
You can't,
I
you
want
can't go
to
out with a loaded gun. You gotta. That's subprimal.
listen. I prepared a bunch of little games I want to fit in because I know you're in a hurry. Tell me, do you want to play Guess the Vegetarian? Are you willing to do that? Do you think you have a?
When you say guess, like, is it a person?
Yeah, it's one of the people I'm going to show you on the crew, and you guess who's the vegetarian.
Oh, on the crew.
You think you could do that or no?
Yeah, I could do that for sure.
Okay, here we go. So this is Cam. This is Dan. This is Ian. This is Lena. Everyone's crying. This is Zach. That one's hard. He's covered up.
No, that's
Sam.
pretty obvious.
Olivia. Love. AB. So I guess me. I'm not a vegetarian. So do you have a guess here?
Scroll again slowly,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Ian.
100%.
I love meat.
It's actually Dan.
Shit.
Dan,
Good
you're a
shit, Tyler.
vegetarian? What the fuck? I feel betrayed.
The beard got you, huh?
Well, let me make this official. The 9 ancestral tenets are vegan friendly, right? Only one of them is eat, right? So you can still do the 9 ancestral tenets and be 89% primal.
Okay. Here's another one.
I bet you he's doing the other ancestral tenets.
Oh, Dan is definitely primal.
Thanks, man.
Why does it
Thanks
say
for
this
saying
might
so.
contain erotic or adult imagery?
I don't know. I want to show you an image of something specific, and you just tell me, is it primal or subprimal? Can you do that?
Sure.
Okay, so cavemen.
Primal.
Yeah. Wild berries.
Primal.
Sunscreen.
Bro, this is embarrassing you're asking.
I keep going. Yeah,
Subprimal,
yeah,
all the
yeah.
way, 100%.
Okay, sparkling water.
Plastic is subprimal.
What about in glass?
Primal.
Okay. Prime energy drink.
I love those guys.
Yeah, but
So all I'm going to say is this, is loyalty above all. Its name is Prime. Primal! And
No
these,
shot. That's plastic too. Come on, just
these
is
guys
plastic.
saw worth and potential in me before I knew that I had it myself.
I invited you before they did. For the record.
to be fair.
Well,
yeah,
me
we
and
did.
Hassan have
We
been
did.
talking shop.
Okay, but for the record...
Would you drink that? Would you drink that?
For the record, look at how your producer reached out to me, right? And,
How did he do it?
Well, I read the DM verbatim.
Was it bad?
Well, all I'll tell you is this. Logan Paul Impulsive said, hey, we'll come to you.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I wasn't gonna.
Well,
come to you.
of course you weren't.
Yeah.
But again, you sent the jet. You put me up. we
Okay,
did it.
okay. So that's
Okay,
okay.
so that's
Would you-
definitely not primal.
Would you drink this after a workout?
Listen, I love these guys.
Loyalty
I
above all.
support what they do. Yeah, move on.
Escalator.
Oh, this is easy. We would never fucking touch an escalator.
Never.
Subprimal.
Take the stairs always.
Yeah, and if there's no stairs, you don't go.
Oh,
NASA.
dude, nerds.
NASA is always fucking primal.
Yeah, good.
Outer space.
That's primal as fuck.
That's
Oh,
primal?
obviously.
Okay, what about the Hailey Bieber beefing with Selena Gomez?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, Queen Elizabeth. The second.
Primal.
Primal.
Really? No.
You were hesitating.
No shot.
You want to
This
explain?
is the most subprimal thing ever. You
How
got
come?
like you got a monarch that's like wearing all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? And it's
Playing
like
dress up.
stolen money and land off of like
That
the
is primal, though, isn't
the
it?
primal people
Pillaging is primal, right?
Listen,
that lived off the earth.
This is why I
Hold
gave
on.
this disclaimer earlier. I live in a primal bubble. I don't know what's trending. I don't know when the tornado is coming or the hurricane. I prospectively create the light. Half the shit you're showing me, I don't even know.
All right, so the Queen is primal.
Let's move on.
Gambling.
Gambling's always primal.
Interesting.
Gambling's primal.
9/11.
Here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to do. Is, you got to take risks that are commensurate with a reward, right? This is what the evolutionary hunter did.
You talking about gambling or
Everything's a
9/11?
gamble. Chasing an animal is a gamble.
Exactly. And
That's
then
primal.
what's the potential reward?
Pay off life.
Yeah. And then are you guys on that? Did you guys not hear my video on this?
I did. I watched
Yeah,
it.
no, I saw you. I
You said it's
saw it. It was-
subprimal.
It's the ultimate subprimal.
Well,
act.
it's dedication to a belief. You know, it was a huge act. Like,
Listen, you
but-
can call it whatever
Those
you want.
dudes definitely
I'm
were
just
living in
saying,
caves,
they-
I've
too.
already put my stake in the sand. I've said what I believe.
okay,
Those
okay,
homies
fair enough.
were living
I
in
agree.
caves.
I agree for the record. Subprimal. Soy face. This is this face people make for like YouTube thumbnails. They go,
And what does soy face even
Yeah,
indicate?
people, not us. We would never do that.
it's like, we can move on.
Well,
It's okay.
you know what? I want to make a point. When you make a face like that, I believe that you invite attack upon yourself.
Okay,
You invite
interesting.
attack upon your family. I
True.
think when you emasculate yourself like that, when you do that to yourself,
Boom. Soy face.
subprimal.
Okay, what about soybeans?
Even more subprimal.
You don't like soybeans?
You don't like soybeans?
Are you joking me right
It's
now?
a natural. It's a
Estrogen.
natural. Okay, estrogen. What
Yeah.
about women eating soybeans?
You probably still don't want to do a whole. I mean, it's such a strong estrogen mimetic.
We don't like that.
Well, what happens there's like this reciprocal relationship with estrogen and testosterone, right? And you listen, we live in such an estrogen-dominated world, not in terms of like man and woman, but in terms of when you start wearing petrochemical clothing,
Mm-hmm.
when you start wearing xenoestrogens, like the perfumes and fragrances and the deodorants, those types of things, estrogen is just stacking and compounding.
So no soy.
No soy.
What about God?
This is a complicated topic.
Okay.
Damn, the dialectic is in.
Well,
okay, go on.
Primal or subprimal? What do you feel?
No. This is just a complicated topic.
Refuse to
Listen,
answer?
I believe that
He's both primal and subprimal if he's everything.
He's everything.
Right?
Yeah, he's everything.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Technically, he's subprimal.
Okay,
as
how
well,
about
though.
Jesus?
Look, you know what? I think this part is getting a little bit funny.
Okay, well,
know,
we'll skip that. We'll skip that. If you're not comfortable, I get it. Yeah, it's a little bit. Wi-Fi?
Well, this is obviously
Yeah, subprimal. Corporate America?
Come on, this is subprimal.
Subprimal, okay. Murder?
Well, it depends on what the cause is or what the reason is behind it. You know, like murder and fighting for your life, you know, has always been part of our evolutionary
Primal.
past.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good answer. What about regular colonoscopy checks after the age of 40?
I would say that's, you know what, I don't want to fuck anybody up with that. I'm not going to say shit, but I'll tell you off camera what that is.
You don't take a finger in the butt?
You know, I don't go see doctors.
You don't believe in
Here's
doctors?
Here's what happens. You go see a doctor, they're going to tell you what's wrong with you, irrespective of you being as healthy as an ox.
Yeah, so if you don't ask, you know, have to ever know that there's something
but here's the
wrong.
deal. I get it. This is a legitimate issue, and people do need to be diagnosed with this early.
Okay.
And so that's why this is such a nuanced topic. But here's the thing. You live the 9 ancestral tenets. You're kicking ass in life. You have great energy, a kicking ass libido.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Your
need
prostate's going to be the size of like this. That's what you're saying.
You're
It's gonna be
completely
tiny.
accurate. But here's the thing. People aren't living that way. People are living subprimal lives. Subprimal lives, you need to get that shit done.
If you're subprimal, you need a finger in the butt.
Sure.
Got it. Tucking your son in at night.
Oh, man. I tucked my son in, my kids for a while, so it depends their age.
Interesting.
It completely depends on
Little
the range.
nighttime. What
child.
about a little nighttime story and a little kiss
Yeah,
on
a
the forehead?
child. I'd say under 10.
Under 10, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's primal. Okay.
11 though, cut that out.
Yeah.
Seafood.
Oh, that's subprimal.
No, here's the thing is, I said this yesterday, landlocked tribes at war always would call a peace treaty to exchange at least one day out of the week because seafood was required to express their health and happiness. So seafood, fish eggs, and fish have always been, and listen, we don't do a lot of it, but one day a week we do some seafood.
Okay.
So
there it is.
I would say it's absolutely primal.
And how about keeping cholesterol levels below 200 milligrams DL?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but that's synonymous with lowering your testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
Subprimal.
We don't do blood tests.
Well, we don't do.
What about
I already did a blood test. It's online. Google it.
Okay.
Search it up.
What about the planet Mars?
Oh, fuck, I don't know anything about it.
We refuse to answer.
Are you giving? Is it giving vibes? Like, is it giving subprimal or primal vibes?
Well, it seems pretty goddamn primal.
Primal, yeah. It's a planet. What about Mars, the Roman god of war?
He's pretty shredded.
What else is there about him? Tell me something about him.
I don't know. He's a mythological god of war. It's fine. What about birth control?
Birth control's probably not primal.
Interesting.
You don't see
Condoms?
any,
Not primal.
Of course not. You know, but again, this is such a
Very
new topic.
interesting.
Agreed with that one. Condoms. Not
But you guys
primal.
must be using contraceptive. You only have 2 kids, and it sounds like you guys fuck like rabbits.
This is something that I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. You know, once we get into this level of detail,
We don't talk about that.
We don't.
Yeah, fair enough. Very respectful. What about selling feet pics online?
You know, I'm not really enjoying this anymore, so I'm going to be like, hey, yeah.
Okay, we can call it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can call that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. If you like doing that, it's just like I don't really enjoy that, and
Hey, you say no, and we're out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was just a little game we prepped.
Damn, you had some crazy stuff in there too.
Yeah, I
wanted
just thought
to
I'd
do
throw
one
some
chip
curveballs in
challenge?
there. I don't know.
I saw one chip challenge in there.
Yeah, I thought maybe.
Do you like? You don't eat any spice.
Oh, we eat a little bit of spice.
You like spicy food?
I like some spicy food. Yeah.
Do you know what the one chip challenge is?
Never heard of it.
So it's a tortilla chip, but it's carbs. You're probably not going to be interested. But it's
It's spiced
spicy.
with like ghost pepper, I think.
we
right?
all did it on the crew last week. It's very spicy, but it's fun because it's so spicy. It's like a
Oh, you want me to
challenge.
do that here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah, I
shit if
figured.
it's a tortilla chip. It's probably fried in some fucking vegetable oil
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know, but here's the thing. I will go on the what's it called, Hot Ones or something like that. Have y'all heard of that show?
Yeah, I was on it.
Sean
Oh,
Evans.
were you? How'd it go?
It was great. It was
You
fun.
went on Sean Evans' show. He's my mortal enemy. Did you know this?
Why?
He
Why?
doesn't even know it, but he is. He's my mortal enemy.
I was on there a long time
He
ago.
won
It
the
was fun.
Shorty Award over me the year I flew in with David Dobrik on the private jet.
Oh, that's not right.
He won a best breakout show over my show.
Would you lick it? maybe do not eat it. Just
No, bro. I'm
okay,
fucking
okay,
licking
yeah,
vegetable
yeah,
oils.
yeah, okay,
You know?
okay.
But you guys, this has been a blast. You know, again, I appreciate the hospitality, just putting me up and
Thank you.
making this
Absolutely.
happen. I want to do a part 2. You know,
Me
at,
too.
at some point.
Me
You know,
too.
let's
We'll
go
check
create value in ourselves. And that way we come back to next time and everything's at another level.
Let's
We're gonna
go.
do the liver bone marrow.
So is this mine to keep?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm on it.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Badass. And obviously we got your contact info. We're gonna make sure that you stay supplied with that.
Okay. You
But
want
once-
some of this?
I'll take
Yeah,
some,
let's
I'll
do
take
it.
some stuff.
Okay, we're gonna make sure to get that
Yeah.
to you. Dominator, you guys here? Yeah. Okay, can we just make sure to get a couple of rounds to the guys? We'll do. Okay, badass. But once again, I said this in the beginning, how desperately I need guys like you for opportunities like this. I just want to repeat this. There's too many people that are hurting and hating their lives today. They're suffering at record rates. There's a better life to live out there. If you start living the ancestral tenets, start eating liver, stack the sun and the earth, tune into the Liver King message, and you're gonna live a life that's goddamn worth living.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
All right.
We're wrapping it up. Unfortunately, we had the barbarian test. I wanted to put you through that, Hassan, but
What is the
I guess
barbarian?
you guys have another place to be, right?
Whatever John is saying.
Yeah. Okay. Which podcast is it? Oh yeah, you can go late to that one. He's not a
Freaking
big deal.
Zoo culture, dude.
What's that? Okay, yeah, he's saying they have to go. Bradley Martin, yeah. So
Which camera? Because at the end, I always do a Liver King out. I want to be able to look at the camera.
that'd be yours, yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I do it right now?
Oh, absolutely.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So again, thank you guys, and now we're done. Liver King out.
Yeah.